Yo. What's up, my friends? It's about time, huh? Hope everybody's ready for today. More news. More stuff. What's up? Yo. Good evening. How's it going, everybody? Today, guys, we'll be hosting, it's in 1 hour and 10 minutes, we'll be hosting a Diablo 4 interview with the developers, Colin and Zaven. Gonna have a ton of fun. We're gonna be asking a ton of questions. We gathered a lot of them with you guys, and yeah, I'm very excited to learn more stuff about what the future holds for Diablo, man. Time to cook. Yeah, Colin is gonna cook. I'm not gonna cook anyone, guys. I hope there is cooking, but no one is gonna get cooked. Yo. Dark Force, Adaption Mode, what's up? Origo, Janitor, Demon Monger. Yo, Mercy's here. What's up, everybody, man? Hello, and all the people I'm forgetting, man. Krabby, Ron, yo. Yeah, I'm gonna ask about Perma-Teleport. That's on the list, man. Perma-Teleport. That's very near and dear to my heart, dude. I think they should just uncap movement speed, but we'll see. There's probably like some technical limitations associated with that, right? But it's gonna be really exciting. We also have a lot of like BlizzCon stuff that got announced yesterday evening. I didn't check out yet. We'll look at this as well. The interview, let me see if I can get a timer. It should be starting in about an hour, guys. Let's see. We can just make an easy countdown. Is it big enough? But Rob, when's the interview? Is the timer good like this? Hey, Zero, man, what's up, dude? Grüße gehen raus. The timer is not big enough. Yeah, that one's crazy, dude. Is this preview locked or what? Wait. Don't tell me this is happening again. Okay, never mind. Yeah, this was... maybe we don't need it to be that enormous. Hey, Mark S. Yo. Hey, thank you so much for the support. Wix, you too. Thanks, guys, for the support, man. Do you play World of Warcraft? I mean, I like World of Warcraft music, but I don't play, especially not nowadays, like a lot of World of Warcraft, though. So, guys, the interview starts in 1 hour, yes? We are live on YouTube as well, if you want to check it out, because, yeah, there might be some ads and stuff here and there. We're also live on YouTube. I can't be live on 3 platforms right now with my internet, else would also be live on X, but I want to probably make a post about X. We'll go through my questions. There's also like a BlizzCon announcement trailer that we want to watch. And YouTube, we're also live on Twitch, of course. Leave a like, leave a comment, guys. Helps a lot, dude. Do some love for the algorithm. Let's go. You should do interviews with fans. I mean, maybe one day. I totally wouldn't mind. Like, I'm often talking to some members from the community. Like, I don't know, it's not fans. It's just people that like to play the game, man. You know, don't really need to consider it like fans. Like, it's just... yeah, fans of the game, you know, like we're just playing video games together, man, like, and just having a ton of fun. That's it. Okay, let me update X. What are you gonna say? Does the YouTube live work? Everything good? Yes. Do you want to watch the BlizzCon announcement first? That's gonna be pretty fire. I want to thank you for the evade build. Oh, dude, the evade build's crazy for Paragon farming. I mean, you're having a blast with that. That's crazy. Hi, Rob. You're spooky. Hey, what's up, man? There's also another interview that happened yesterday. I haven't checked that. Maybe we can watch that. From Duque, I think. That's gonna be exciting. Okay, something like this. Okay, something like this? Okay, not supposed to hear myself. There we go. Doing interviews with individual streamers makes it look like Blizzard is desperate. I don't know. I think it's just like they just like, you know, close to the community and talk with like a, you know, variety of people. They talk with like a very American audience with Rex. Then they have like more like Asian, like Korean audience with Dunkyu. And today is going to be more like, I mean, European, whatever. I mean, I have also like a lot of people watching here from the States. So I think it's a good mix, no? Okay, I'm hosting my Diablo 4 interview with senior developers Colin and Zaven in about 1 hour from now, live in about 1 hour from now. Looking forward to learning more about class balance, sanctifications, and future plans. Is that good? 1 hour is the time slot. I mean, maybe they'll go a bit longer. Like, I have a ton of questions, guys. Like, I gotta be honest. Like, yeah, I have gathered a ton of questions here that I want to ask. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to, you know, ask all of them. Like, it's just a lot of them. We'll see. I mean, it's 4 pages of questions, guys. We'll see if we're gonna get through them all. And I already cut the ones out that were answered in Rex's stream, right? So yeah, I mean there's loads, dude. Can't wait, gotta be chill. Yeah, I'm just gonna update X here because lots of people like they're not in the like Twitch bubble and stuff and YouTube. And then we'll check the BlizzCon announcements, guys. Yeah, I think this is good. Yes. 4 pages of when will the barbarian be great again? I mean, that's going to be one of the questions. Like, okay, I'm not like that, but I just want to know like what they're going to do in terms of like balancing, class balance in general. I would be very interested on how they approach the balance, right? I think I have this here somewhere. Here. Like if they, you know, like how do they approach the balance? Like this is about the philosophy. So, I mean, I want to say something like Season 10 power level was extremely high. Now in Season 11, on the PTR at least, the power level seems to have come down significantly. Which, I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing, right? Like, we were, like, hitting for quadrillions, right? 2 quadrillions of damage. But the concern that I see a lot is the class balance. Like, we had so many, if you're looking at the tier list, we had so many fun builds. Viable fun builds. Like, I think we had, like, 16 S-tier builds in my tier list. You see all this? We had 16 S-tier builds in the tier list. This was the most we ever had in S-tier, right? Like the most viable builds in Season 10. And this seems to narrow based on like, you know, what we experienced on the PTR. So like how does the team, you know, evaluate this balance? And what are they even balancing around? Like, do they have like a target goal? Like, do they want, I don't know, like every new build or the builds they should do around pit 80, pit 90, pit 100? Like where's the balance there, right? Like, are they approaching it like this, or they, like, I'm just interested in the process, you know? I feel like this was like a very highly requested topic from the community because like so many people complain that like, you know, whatever build they play, they can't even get 100 glyphs. I mean, like, you know, if they have such a tier, they balance around, like how high is it, right? Would you ask, since all 7 has been confirmed, if they could add private leagues? Yeah, that would be great, but I think they would like announce this like separately. I'm not expecting like, I mean, I could probably ask this if I have time, yeah. I like how they do it in PoE, but SSF in the end, I think is also like a bit more niche in a lot of ways. But yeah, if I have time, guys, like I have a lot of like I would say more rapid fire questions here for the end. I was specifically curious about the Chaos Rifts and stuff. Let me post this real quick. It's in about 1 hour, right? I'll be hosting my Diablo 4 interview with senior developers. I'm just sending this, right? Alright, boys, here's the interview. Leave a like, leave a share or something with your friends. Like, we want more eyes on this, ideally, so we update people. I'm probably gonna have like the full interview up on YouTube tomorrow as well, right? So, yeah, I'll be sending this out. I'll be sending out these news here too. That's gonna be nice. Okay, guys, let's watch the BlizzCon trailer. So, apparently, BlizzCon has announced like the tickets and everything. It's in September next year. I'm definitely considering going. Like, I want to go to the US again, man. I had a great time last time. And we were just in the, like, you know, California, Los Angeles, like, Bay Area and stuff, San Francisco. I didn't really get to see much of the US, so maybe next year we can do this. And I want to hopefully combine it with this event here. So let's watch it. New trailer here. This is for BlizzCon.
You can hear it in the wind. An echo. A whisper.
Dude, the trailers. The Giga Chat himself.
It welcomes us. Not as wanderers, but as its kin. In search of a memory of what once was, where purpose ignites.
Yes! Dang! The chanting. It's about time.
A refuge where warriors can lay down their
There's
weapons
StarCraft.
and
Look at
join
this.
forces with one another. You can feel the power as countless worlds collide.
A new future with endless possibilities.
Endless.
A place to unite.
To imagine.
To belong. Are you ready, BlizzCon?
There's StarCraft. Did you see it?
It's about time.
That's right. Yeah, there was a ton of StarCraft. What? I saw so many StarCraft hints, no? Bro. StarCraft. That looks good. Yeah, that's the BlizzCon trailer, guys. That's in September. That's cool. Yeah. It's about time. Yeah, that's StarCraft as well. There's so much StarCraft. Yeah, really cool. If there's one thing Blizzard does right, it's cinematics, dude. 11 out of 10. That's why I want them to make a movie with Netflix or something. That would be so sick. 1 hour to go. Let's go. Yeah, 59 minutes. Let's go, guys. Can you ask a question about clan housing and clan shared stash? I have that in there, yes, definitely. I want to ask something in this direction. I think we are missing like a lot of... Where do I have this? Yeah, like in general, right? Like we have no clan features whatsoever. This is gonna be like my rapid fire questions in the end if we have time, guys. I don't know like how long we're gonna have, you know. I mean, we have 1 hour, so we'll see. It's gonna be hard to fill this all in 1 hour, huh? More stash space. What I want to definitely ask is this, guys. Should Diablo fans be watching the Game Awards on the 11th of December? I just want to see what they say, you know? They can just make a joke about it. Like, obviously, like, even if they do an announcement there, they wouldn't, like, specifically say that, but maybe they can say, oh, it's gonna be an interesting time or something, you know? Because I was, like, sold that it was coming on BlizzCon, on Gamescom. Witch-Tide Halloween event. Okay, yeah, that'd be cool. Endgame? I'm asking a ton about the endgame, man. Yes. Like, I'm asking, like, I mean, most of the questions... Okay, there's some leveling questions, then everything is about the endgame. Like, tempering, masterworking, itemization, that's endgame. Sanctification, that's endgame. Toughness, attack power stats, that's basically endgame as well. Pits is endgame. Tower is endgame. And class balance, that's also endgame. Like, the entire interview is about endgame, basically. Dude, there's a ton of questions about endgame. I don't know how I could possibly ask even more. Like, the new endgame, guys, like, that's the tower right now. I doubt that they will have something else to announce, especially not in an interview, about, like, a new endgame coming, you know? Nah, guys, what's the cow level? No. Can't ask about that, dude. The cow level does not exist. Everybody knows this. It was so funny in Rax's interview. Wait, what did I say? Diablo is busy. That's why he's not in Diablo 4 yet. What the hell is the cow level? And when asked about the new class, they said that Necros already have shields. I think that was a really good answer, man. Yeah, the Necro only has a shield, lol. Yeah, that was great, dude. Necro with shield, we don't need a paladin or crusader, man. What the hell? Why don't buff have seeds? Okay, guys, this is gonna be most likely the setup. Something like this. I'm probably gonna delete chat. Or we put chat later. Like, chat is big anyways. But yeah, I'm probably gonna move like somewhere here, and then we're gonna have Zaven and Colin on the right side. Gonna be fun. It's Lilith's world. Delete chat. Lilith 4. The Barbs aren't warriors, they are rage-filled fighters. Yes. Wait, why? I'm getting this recommended now. After, like, I'm watching the BlizzCon trailer and the next one is like something about joining Asmongold's WoW guild. It's about time. Paladin background? I mean, we do have this stuff, I guess. Turail. What do we have? Like, that guy looks like a kind of like... I mean, she already like reminded me of something like monk / paladin, like in the... I don't even know. What was her name? Yeah, this art came out a long time. We have this. But I think this was more like a different like icon here from Liz or somebody said that. Prava, yeah. I mean, she already had like strong faith, you know. Like, I associated that a little. Faith. Have some strong faith. Don't falter with your faith. Boring, bald lady? She was kind of badass, no? Jada Smith. Okay. What the fuck? Keep my wife's name. Oh, gee. Well, guys, like, this is the picture we're going to be showing when we're going to talk about the Bob. Like, he looks kind of depressed. Evening, Mr. Rob. Your biohazard. What's up, my friend? What did she do? She was in that badass scene on the Lilith hell fight. Now that cinematic was crazy. That was a really cool cinematic, guys. You don't remember that? Okay, guys. Wait, wait 1 second. Is this the guy here? Did anyone see the interview yesterday, guys? 1 second, before we watch that. Like, did you guys see the interview yesterday? Is it this? It's a Korean creator, but they have this auto-dub feature. Sell all button for the vendors. I have that in my line of questions, yeah. Evade Spiritborn, you can't die. It's like immortal build.
이번 주 디아블로4의 핵심 개발자들과 크리에이터들의 인터뷰가 진행돼.
Wait. Like, does he? How do I enable the auto dub? Yeah, this was the third. This is the third guy. TV DoQ. CC.
되고 있는데요. 가장 먼저 렉스가 인터뷰를 진행했고 내일은 로비 진행할 예정이며 한국에서는 감사하게도 제가
Yeah, but I want like the dub, man, not only the sub. This is the second guy, yeah.
인터뷰를 잘 마쳤고요. 시간이 제한적이라
Yeah, okay, he talking about the interview, but
많은 것을 물어보지는 못했지만 되도록 먼저 인터뷰를 진행했던 렉스와
I
겹치지
couldn't ask many questions, but I tried.
않으면서도 최대한 제
My best to convey opinions of the channel and the Korean community as well as possible.
채널과 한국 커뮤니티의 의견도 반영하여 잘 전달하려고
Okay, wait, so what did he ask? Yeah, sorry guys, I can't turn this into English.
노력했습니다. 제 인터뷰 영상은 번역과 편집을 진행 중이라
Okay, my interview is currently being translated. Okay, guys, so the interview with him is not out yet, but it's gonna come. Yes, it's just not there yet. That's great. So he's translating it to English. That's pretty cool. Well, I guess he also has to translate what they say into Korean to understand, because I guess they don't speak that language. Yeah, it's the video. Sorry, I kept stopping. Should be fine. I don't know, no frame drops. Yeah, I guess this is mainly a summary of what Rex was asking and saying. Oh, yeah. Favorite points at 99. Another way to spend them. Maybe use them for transmogs. Ooh. Yeah. I mean, I have so many questions, guys. Like, I can, like, you know, the problem is if I want to ask, like, more questions, I need to kick out some questions. And I only, like, moved a few down to, like, what really was answered. I mean, like as much as they could say, right? Like, on stash space, like, obviously, I want to know about stash space as well. But they just said, like, we gotta stay tuned on stash space, right? So we're gonna stay tuned. Auction house is definitely in, yeah. Yeah. Auction house. I mean, I ask this question almost every interview. But the problem is they never do it, man. Hey, Rob, I'm thinking you asked the most pressing questions in this interview. Be eager for answers. It's possible I'd like to ask the developers about the following things in the future. Increasing the character chest, whether they'll be bringing back paragons, other than 5 tables. Yeah, I have that. There's more variety in builds. I believe firmly that any sort of cap is just a limit to the build diversity. I think having caps in the game is bad, long term. That's my take on it. Like, I do not like to see, like, a cap on movement speed, a cap on cooldown, cap on stash space, cap on paragons, cap on level. Like, they have so many caps, dude. Like, I'm just like, just leave it open, dude. And make it scale. I think the biggest thing I disagreed with was the paragon changes. Especially on the Barb, where they dumped down, like, literally every paragon node to just be a multiplier straight up, instead of having, like, some scaling, right? You remember, for example, let me see if I can find you an example here with the old Blood Rage. Where is that? Here. You remember how this node used to say you can scale multiplicative damage the more damage to berserking you have. Right? So if you had more damage to berserking on your gear, you could multiplicatively scale this node up, right? They completely got rid of that. And this is just complete dump down, because, like, nowadays, you click the thing and you get 45x, no matter what. Like, it's super brain dead, right? You don't have to do anything. There's no scaling. The thing is, like, if you are, like, I don't know, like Paragon 5, you get this node, or you are Paragon 200, like, the node still gives 45. While before, you could, like, scale this node well into the end game, right? You could, like, I don't know, maybe you start with 10x multiplicative, and then in the end game, you had 60x or something. Yeah, so, like, this was, like, some of the stuff that I really just, like, it's just the dumpification of the game, if you want. Yeah, they're gonna do SF mode. They already talked about that. Yeah, I mean, this is not the main problem of the game, guys. This is just something that I super disagree with. I've been watching you guys since I started, Rob. Playing Diablo, you're pretty good. Thank you for all you do, Rob. Ey, thanks for the kind words. Und Grüße gehen raus, Abby Natermann. Yo, dankeschön. Grüße aus dem schönen Sauerland. Stop them from going on and on about what? The cooldown is too gone? Maybe. Yeah. I also don't think they're gonna be, like, really, like, changing that anymore at this point. It's a bit too late for all of that. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, they have time, right? Like, the season as of in-game is scheduled for the 9th of December. You think they will I mean, the date's pretty much confirmed anyways, right? Like, it says it in the game. What more of confirmation do you want? People say here. Yeah, the Barb, man, the Barb. I've been watching you since you had that video outro. Dude, I hope the Barb survives this, man. Come on. I hope the Barb survives. He should. That's right. I'm gonna ask if Diablo fans should be excited to watch the Game Awards in this on the 11th of December. Barb was strong on the PTR, not the strongest. Wait, no, the Barb, like, literally, guys, the Barb was the strongest on the PTR. but only with the unlimited scaling. Barb was the strongest, guys. Like, there was nothing crazier than the Barb on the PTR. It was Barb number 1, Spiritborn number 2, Necro number 3, Sorg number 4. Yeah, Rogue was on the last place. Actually, okay, Druid was maybe somewhere like above Necro even. But Druid also had unlimited buck. Rogue was the worst this time. Not the Barb for once, guys. The interview is in 45 minutes. Yeah, top of the hour, guys. Tell Blizzard we want changes now. I mean, you know, the changes are coming gradually. Like every 3 months, we're getting big changes. And then I guess every like 1.5 years or so, we're getting big expansions. That's how it looks. I'm gonna ask about Sorg Teleport, don't worry. Yes. I don't think they're gonna rework or like go back on that though. I just want to hear more about the philosophy behind this because, like, you know, in my mind, like, the Sorg is having a ton of fun, right? And all the other classes in speed farming are down here. So instead of bringing down the Sorg's fun, like nerfing the Sorg's fun, how about bringing the other classes' fun up to, like, I don't know, like, give them 300, 400% movement speed. Buff, yeah, I mean, Warwick needs a big buff anyways, but I don't know, like, I think it's very easy to make Barb players happy. Just buff the spin to win and keep Hoda strong. It's so easy, dude. Like, they don't even have to do much to make Barb players happy, you know? But Barb players have been, like, 1 year, and I'm a big Barb fan, so I'm obviously biased, but still, 1 year the class has been shit. Like, in terms of meta, it's been really bad. Like, if you're looking at whatever, like, fan leaderboards we have, guys, Barbs always last. And this has been going on this entire 2025 year. The entire year. It's so easy, man. Just, like, 10x spin to win, make some interesting stuff, and there we go. It will be, like, the easiest thing ever. Hey, I'm not saying, like, Barb needs to be the strongest class, you know, but it sure should not be the weakest for 4 seasons in a row. Yeah, dude, I love the spin to win Hoda build, man. Sure. Let's party at BlizzCon. Oh, yeah, we just watched the trailer, man. I'm hyped for the BlizzCon, dude. That looks fun. I'm planning to go, yeah. I mean, I'm planning to also combine this with, you know, like a US trip. Because I've only been to California twice now. I've not seen much else. I want to go Texas, Starbase. I want to go Las Vegas. I want to go Grand Canyon. Probably Yosemite. Yeah, maybe New York. Those are like the top 5 destinations I want to visit at some point. And then Anaheim is in California again. Is where the BlizzCon is. Yeah, well, see, probably need like 3-4 weeks to visit all those places. Wait, a season theme made out of cellars? Are you crazy? Montana? I mean, there's so many awesome places to visit in the US, but you can't see them all, dude. I'm gonna be like a year in the US if I want to see everything. It's not possible. Horadric Cube in the future? Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, that would be nice. I doubt they will announce that, though. Like, more crafting, like, Rex already went down that path. Changing to other mythics. Yeah, I mean, okay, if we have time, yeah, I might add that. I mean, this is gonna be changes to underused mythics. Yeah, I mean, maybe. Yellowstone, yeah, man. I want to see El Cap as well. Maybe make some nice hikes there. That'd be sick, dude. Yosemite, Yellowstone. Like, there's just so many awesome places. Skip Cali. I already been to California 2 times. I mean, it wasn't bad. Like, San Francisco was very nice. And Los Angeles was... I mean, the part where I was in Irvine was nice as well. Oh, Armin, what's up? Yeah, I mean, I have most of the stuff in here. Yeah, like I answered you. Let me see, did you write something else? Well, I mean, like, about the dates, guys, like the season date is the 9th of December. Like, you go in game, it says it there. Like, do you want to hear the words out of their mouth or what? San Francisco was nice. But I don't know, like KW. I mean, there was some homeless people, but I guess I didn't see much, man. I was there for 2 days in San Francisco. I saw the Apple HQ, the Google HQ, and the Tesla HQ in Palo Alto. Like, I didn't really like went to like the, I don't know, like the side streets. I don't know, man. The San Francisco that I saw was nice, but that's probably what the tourist sees. Yeah, that's the nice parts. That's what I'm saying. Like, I was obviously visiting the nice parts of San Francisco. I mean, even there was some homeless people, but it wasn't like as crazy zombie apocalypse like people are saying. That's the Bay Area, Silicon Valley, not actually San Francisco. Yeah, I mean, I was more interested in seeing the Silicon Valley and like the, you know, like the big stuff that I heard so much about rather than see a bunch of homeless people. Oh man, I just have to think about the South Park episode with all the homeless. Oh, come on. I like the chaotic system. Keep making uniques chaotic. This is one of the questions I want to ask as well. If there's any chance of keeping some of the chaos uniques, at least chaos rifts. I think the chaos armor is not healthy to stay because that's just impacting the defensive stuff like way too much. But yeah. We'll see. They kept vampiric powers from the aspects. I don't see why chaos ones can't. Well, because the chaos ones, like, they just completely invalidate all the defensive aspects of the game. Like, you know, why would you ever want to do a defensive aspect if you can get a triple multiplier? I think it's kind of crazy. Like, I mean, maybe one chaos armor would be okay, but then the RNG of finding that would be ridiculous. You feel me? I'm excited for the talk. Yo, Warcraft, what's up? Yeah, yo. Greetings, man. Yeah, gonna be exciting. I'm definitely much looking forward to hear about hopefully some of the tower learnings that they can share. Like in general, guys, I hope you don't mind it, but I'm a bit more, because I know they can't really talk about long-term plans, right? Like they're not really gonna, like, you know, like announce the new classes or something, right? They're not gonna do that in an interview. So I want to more focus about like the immediate future. And then at the end, like, we can go a bit more ham about the long-term future. But I really want to more focus about, you know, what's coming like this year in December, like what some of the stuff that they hopefully learn from the PTR, some of the changes we can expect, and go a bit more in that direction. Like Rex, which I think was cool as well. Like, he was asking a lot of questions about like the big picture. But obviously the devs can't really talk that much, or not allowed to talk that much about the big picture stuff. When are they going to launch Diablo 5? Yeah, sure. I'm sure they'll answer that. Like, come on, dude. I don't want to waste people's time. It's going to be a waste of your time, and my time, and the developer's time. It's the game coming out of beta. Oh, dude. I'm going to ask about toughness, yes. This is my toughness questions. I mean, you can read them here. I'll leave it open on the screen while we discuss. I don't want to read them all. I'm going to ask them, so. Like, to me, the biggest problem with toughness is you have no idea what the toughness means, right? Like, I had this, man. I was leveling in hardcore to test some shit. And then I had, like, I don't know, like 100,000 toughness. And then I went into T1 with a fresh character, and I was like, well, like, what does it mean, 100,000 toughness? Like, am I just gonna get one-tapped here? Or, like, you know, like, how much is recommended or something? Because with res and armor, you kind of know, if you're in Torment 1, and according for the penalty, you have, like, I don't know, 50 plus res, and you have, like, 800 plus armor, you're gonna get one shot. But with toughness, like, what does 100,000 toughness even mean? Like, what does that mean? You know, like, you have no idea, no comparison, no nothing, and you might just get one shot. Follow up for infinite scaling. Can you elaborate? I'm not sure what you mean. Where's the middle ground? I think there is middle ground. Did you guys feel like you only got one shot on the PTR? That was not the case for me. I do see your point, though. Oftentimes, you're either immortal or you're getting one shot. That's a problem of the past. I don't really know if it's fully fixed in the PTR, but it definitely felt better first glance. Sorry, I'm not going to share this link right now. You watch the interview. I'll see. You see me ask the questions in the interview. I'll upload the full interview and everything. Colin talked about more torment tiers and mentioned infinite scaling. They did say they might do up to 8 torment tiers. They did say that already. I'm not gonna ask that again. Sorry. I think that's like they weren't like fully ready to announce this. They just said that they are considering, you know, like adding more torment tiers, whatever. Hey Dread, what's up, man? Yeah. Popcorn Intensifies. Hey, what's up, dude? Good to see ya. The entire community wants Chaos Armor to stay. But the thing is, I understand where you guys are coming from with the Chaos Armor. But it's very, very hard, man, to just slap the Chaos Armor in the game and keep it permanent, because it completely invalidates like all of the defensive aspects of the game. Like, you would never use, if you have Chaos Armor, why would you ever want to use, you know, like the 10 different aspects that give you armor and shit, if you can just slap on another multiplier and do 5 gazillion damage? I think it's nice, but it's not really healthy for the game to implement Chaos Armor as is. It just doesn't work. And that's at least my take on it. And I understand the challenge of this. It's too crazy, man. It invalidates like the utility and the defensive aspects completely. It's very difficult to balance, man. It's basically, yeah, it's a complete different balancing game with that. Do you guys see kind of where I'm coming from? Or why it's a challenge to just leave it in the game, you know? I understand what you guys are saying, but it's not as easy, man. It was very fun, but it was also very, 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 very OP. Yes? Yeah. Very broken. Yeah, well, right now, I mean, what I would like to see, guys, and I'm going to ask about this. Let's say we open the tier list. And looking at a build like the Raven Druid, what they could balance and what they would be able to do, hopefully, is they can consider the Chaos powers. The fan favorites. I think a good example, guys, is the 1-button Raven Druid Fridge. Like this one here, looking at Savagery here, just as an example, right? This is just one. There's many others for sure. But this one here really made, you know, the Raven Druid come online, right? So yeah, I would have this would be a cool addition, I think. You know, keeping some of the builds viable, keeping them strong in S tier, having something around maybe the Savagery. Like, I think I have this question. Chaos power. Yeah, here. This is I think more reasonable. Like the popular Chaos powers return like as an aspect or unique or something similar, right? Or as a glyph. Yeah, I mean, like whatever they can come up with, right? Like it's like this stuff, maybe a mythic. Do you guys think it's a good idea to add class-specific mythics? I feel this never works. Like, you've seen it with the Mechasam on Spiritborn. Like, it's just shit. Like, this is like, you know, having a class-specific mythic, man, it just makes no sense. I think mythics should be, like, more generic stuff. Like Starless Sky, Harlequin's Crest, Shroud. Like, those mythics work really well. I did add the question of... so what would this be? Andy, Turails. What else we have? Nekasem. Shattered Bow. I mean, they did do like some small updates on them, but like it's just not enough. Yeah, I don't like the idea of having more class-specific uniques, mythics. It just doesn't work. Yeah, I mean, set items. I think Rex, like, did Rex ask this, guys? I think he asked this. Like, they're not gonna say, like, even if they are doing it or not doing it, they're not gonna, like, announce it. I don't feel. I think it's, like, kind of unlikely that they would announce this kind of stuff. Because that's, like, a serious change in itemization and how it works. You just have to do like one buzzword. Set items, question mark? Like, what they gonna say? Da schwimmt einer. Ey, Grüße gehen raus. Well, guys, today we're not playing Druid, but I would certainly like for Obelix to remain viable, man, with this. This is the Obelix aspect, dude. This is the wild boar aspect for Obelix. Level 46 glyph, yeah. The affix skills needs to be fixed. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna definitely ask about this. Like, so this is gonna be like one of the questions that I definitely look forward to, is this one. I hope you guys like it as well. I'm probably gonna copy paste this to you. So here, like, you can just read it here, like, yourself if you want. But this is basically like some of the line of questioning that I'm also interested in. Like, specifically on amulets. Like, you know, they added a 4th affix on amulets. And I believe they added, is it like 5 or 6 stats that basically says life on Tuesday. Like, you have life per hit, life per second, life generation every 5 days. You have main life, you have healing received, single res, all res, armor. Like, you know, there's like a bunch of different roles on the amulet now that you like they're not really balanced or that attractive. so like getting a good amulet is like impossible. Life every 5 days, yeah. Like, that is crazy to me, man. Divine gifts, if we have time, maybe. I mean, the divine gift system seems to be like an early like thing that they can definitely keep cooking on. I agree with you. More like meta progression stuff, right? Like, yeah, what Riker was talking about. I think that this is like between the lines. I can definitely see them do this. But yeah, I mean, we can maybe get a confirmation on this or a denial, but I think it's just gonna happen anyways. Hey, Anna Cake! Dankeschön! Grüße gehen raus. Thank you very much, Anna. Hope all is well. How's life in the city? Or in the capital, I should say. Yeah, thank you very much. Big shout out to Anna Cake. Guys, we'll have the developer talk here in about 30 minutes from now. We are here. Let's go log in. Just make everything 60A. I mean, the amulet is just so hard. Like, even right now, guys, in the live game, the amulet is super hard to get. And it's gonna get even worse next season. Yeah, I was just like kind of hoping to see some updates there, you know, like with... I mean, I'm gonna call it, like, I don't want to call it like useless. We're gonna call it like low impact stats, right? Like life on hit, life on kill, life per second, life on Tuesday, max life, healing, like this kind of stuff. Pauler, hey, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs, my friend. Yo, Amulet Gate. We're gonna have another Shaco Gate. Let's go. Barb Nation. We're gonna ask about the Barb Nation, guys. This is how the Barb looks for an entire year, dude. I mean, it's gonna be like a more generic stuff. I wanna like really know how they approach the balance. Like, we're gonna ask about yeah, basically how they are approaching the balance between the different classes. Like, this is the line of questioning I want to kind of go down with how do they approach the class balance, right? Like, is there a specific pit tower tier that they, like, I don't know, is it 80, 90, 100 that they are looking to balance stuff around, right? And then how do they approach that? Because like many people always or often complain, like in season 10 it was different, but in season 11 these complaints are going to come back full swing, that, you know, it's going to be kind of difficult to get your glyphs to 100 for people, like for like average player, right? Like, it's going to be very difficult. Average player, average build, something like that is very hard. Life per 5 seconds, life resource per kill need to go on the amulet. Yeah, I agree. Let Rob do the job and we'll cook. I hope we'll cook together with the devs, man. Like, I'm just looking forward for an interesting conversation, dude. Like, there's, you know, we could talk for hours and hours and hours, man. I mean, yeah, like, I would like to see dedicated stash to it. They already answered this. It's gonna be like, yeah, stay tuned, guys, and stash may or may not come, and it's gonna be soon, TM, my friends. You haven't missed anything yet. The interview starts in 25 minutes. Nothing missed yet, man. We're all good, we're all good. The interview is gonna be like about an hour. Yeah, I mean, maybe they'll, like, you know, like make some extra time, but like, I'm not expecting that, right? Like, I'm going in like 1 hour time slot. We're starting in 25 minutes. We're going for an hour. And then if it goes longer, then that's great. And if not, that's fine, you know? It's all good. 1 hour, it's gonna be hard. Like, I'm not gonna get to the questions on the bottom here, guys, in 1 hour. Like, it's just not gonna happen. But, you know, it's okay. Like, there's like, that's why I have a bit of a chronological order, but in my opinion, I have like the more important questions, to me at least, like, and also to many of you, that are like a bit more focused on like kind of the immediate future of Diablo 4, because I don't think they can really talk that much about the long-term future, right? I want to also ask a couple of questions there, but you know, they're not going to announce the new class, guys, or something. It's not going to happen. Yeah, but just because Rex went 2 hours doesn't mean that that I expect that my interview also going to be 2 hours, guys. It's a 1 hour time slot, and if it goes longer, that's great. And if it doesn't go longer, man, that's completely fine. Like, I'm not going in expecting, oh man, I want to have at least as much time as Rex. Like, no, guys. Like, it's 1 hour, and if it goes longer, that's great, you know? All good, all good. I think that's completely the wrong way of thinking about this. Yeah, of course, man. Like, I'm not gonna say, we need to stop, I gotta go, guys. No. Yeah, I'm not gonna say that. But yeah. We'll see. Man, that treasure goblin is going in. It's about time. By the way, we're also live on YouTube, my friends. If you want to check out the YouTube stream, leave a like, leave a comment, helps a lot. So you can watch on both platforms or any platform, whichever one you prefer. And yeah, Twitch, YouTube, we're live on Twitch. I'm gonna link this. This is the one. Game Awards expansion. I mean, maybe. Like, okay, guys, with the Chinese trailer, okay, we'll watch it one more time, guys. But with the way that Brent Gibson is saying, you know, that we should look to other exciting news on that day. Because it can't be a coincidence that the Chinese big server reveal announcement release is on the same date as the Game Awards. So I'm gonna ask this, if Diablo fans should be looking forward to be watching the Game Awards on the 11th of December. Is it this one? Here. We watched this yesterday, but it's good. It's 1 minute. Look at the Giga chats.
Hi everyone, I'm Brent Gibson, Game Director for Diablo 4.
Let's go!
I'm thrilled to
Listen
share
what he
some
says.
incredible news. Diablo 4 is coming to China. Very soon, players across China will be able to join us in the eternal conflict against the Burning Hells.
That's right.
First, starting November 7th, we will open a limited time public technical test.
Server Slam!
Everyone in China will be able to experience the opening act of Diablo 4
Yo, guys,
for
China
free.
#1!
And those who join us will earn exclusive in-game rewards. Then, on December 12th, Diablo 4 will launch officially in China, marking the beginning of a new chapter with even more surprises waiting for you on that day. You can find all the details on the official
Did you hear that, guys? Like, we listened to it one more time.
chapter with Eve 12th, Diablo 4
December 12th, it launched in China. If you account for the time difference, it's December 11th.
will launch officially in China,
December.
marking the beginning of a new chapter
And now.
with even more surprises waiting for you on that day.
More-
You can find all the
More surprises waiting for you on that day. Huh.
details on the official Diablo 4 China website. We've witnessed the fall of
I
Lilith,
think it's great.
the end of the Harbinger of Hatred, but this is only the beginning.
That's why I want to ask that.
Darker powers stir, and we need the Chinese heroes to join our ranks
They gotta log
in
in.
the fight against the Burning Hells. We can't wait to stand by you in the battle to come. Welcome to Sanctuary.
Man, the Chinese heroes already logging in, dude. They're already logging into this servers. They gone crazy, dude. How to stop duping? Ah, come on, dude. That's not fair. People dupe all around the world. What the fuck? What's the announcement? Diablo is coming to China, fully released with, I think with NetEase. I didn't know if they mentioned NetEase, but I was just assuming it's NetEase. Got a question, if they have something that's purely PvE coming, that's not another Great Rift system. So you're talking like aside from the tower. But above T4 in challenge. Well, I mean, they kind of hinted at they're gonna be adding more torment tiers. I would say that every content is gonna be above T4, right? Like you can run a hard Undercity, and hopefully they're gonna be scaling the rewards accordingly. It's not a cross server. No. Like, so it doesn't work. Like, I'm not an expert, right, on this. Like, so take this with a grain of salt. But legally, as a company that's not originated in China, you cannot publish your game in China. You always need to work together by law, by Chinese law, with a local publisher in China. Right? So they can't just, you know, like do it all smingle, twingle together. They also have some very stuff, like, you know, you can't show Winnie the Pooh there. You can't do like gore, skeletons. Like, I don't know exactly, like, you know, but like there's some stuff like Winnie the Pooh you just can't show in China. And it's like, there's like more stuff like that, right? There's like special laws about this. I mean, the local laws, like, you know, to boost and protect the local companies, they do make a lot of sense, right? Need an auction house? Yeah. Auction house question I have in there for sure. Gear will always be bricked. I'm asking about Sanctification, guys. I don't think they're gonna like. I also don't think they should walk back on this. I like Sanctification like as a base concept. Like the Valorb is great. There are just some problems with it that we're gonna ask. Stash space. Rex already asked that, and they didn't really say much. Stay tuned, basically. It's like a wasted question, man. Like, maybe if we have time in the end, I can drill on this, but it's just they're not gonna answer, man. Yeah, Rux asked, like, I have all the questions that Rux asked. I don't want to double the questions. It's gonna be a waste of time to ask that again. I mean, I would love to see even dedicated stashes. Sell all button, I have that in there, yes. I mean, it's an easy quality of life improvement. Witch Tide coming back? Can you ask them if the fun police is going away? Guys, Barb is on the horizon. Teleport Sork has been on the horizon. Come on. I definitely want to ask about Barb and Sork nerf. Yeah, a little bit. I mean, like, I don't want to like go crazy into it, but we'll see what they'll say. Like, I was always like, you know, don't nerf the Sork, just buff the other classes to have some more mobility, like increase the movement speed cap, for example. But yeah, that's just me. I didn't mind Sanctification, I also didn't mind the old masterworking system. All they need to do is add checkpoints. I agree with that, but they also talked about that in Rex's interview and why they didn't go that route. I mean, it doesn't mean that I agree, but they already answered that. Barb Nation is going strong. Well, as of PTR, guys, we don't know. I mean, I have like, I think a question in there. Yeah, I don't remember exactly. Like, I have a ton of questions in here. I don't know, maybe I'll skip questions like this. Like, I felt like melee builds were a bit at a disadvantage, but the more I played, the less I felt this was like necessarily true. But early on, I feel like with the dangerous affixes that the elites have, that melee builds, because they have to go into those affixes in order to deal damage, had a little bit of disadvantage. I don't know, did you agree with it? Like, do you feel like that? I felt about it very strongly when I was leveling, but like after some time, it was okay. It's only really in the early game. You need to go back to the heavy blasting with the Barb. I mean, I enjoyed that a lot, yeah. I think the nerfs long-term will also be good for the game, but I get it that short-term, most players are not gonna like it. I mean, I don't really mind them taking, and they also talked about this in Rex's interview, inspiration from other games, from their own games even, right? I think they could do more of the Diablo 2 stuff in Diablo 4. And I'm really happy that Diablo 4, at least for the launch, has been going more in the Diablo 2 direction rather than the D3 direction. You could argue in recent days, and Rex also covered this, that the game has been leaning a little more towards the D3 direction in recent months. But in the beginning, I think they went more back to the core, more Diablo 2 style when Diablo 4 launched. I mean, in some ways, right? And I think it's completely fine if they take inspiration, I mean, from their own franchise and own IPs, or even from others, like Last Epoch or PoE. I mean, they do the same anyways, like PoE, like PoE 1 specifically, like they took a lot of inspiration from D2, which is not a bad thing, guys. It's not a bad thing. That's how competition, that's how it works. That's how we, the customer, gets a much better product. Like, that's just how it goes. You feel me? That's good. That's good for us as the gamers. Yeah, we'll see. I'm going to the bathroom for a second, guys. Interview starts in 15 minutes. We'll probably start like 5 minutes before and do a sound check and this kind of stuff, and then we'll go. I'll be back in a minute. All right, friends. Let's go. 10 minutes left. Yeah. Having the idea is like less than 5%, man. It's all about execution, dude. And then consistency. I mean, you just like ask anyone on the idea. They're gonna have like tens of thousands of ideas, right? But that doesn't mean you can grow it into some successful business or whatever. You don't think we need more activities? I think like if we imagine a world where we have like, what did they talk about? Like potential 8 torment tiers. Like every activity, if the rewards, and I think this is very important, the rewards, they need to scale with it. And if they do, well then like you have so much endgame suddenly. If the Undercity is actually challenging plus rewarding, like bro, like you have so much endgame content suddenly, right? So I agree with you here, Neme, for sure. But I don't know how they balance it and stuff. Like that's a whole different story. More difficulty with tormentors, not endgame. Well, but then you're also saying that in Diablo 2, hell is not endgame. Hell versus fixes, okay, I don't know. Like there's a lot of stuff that they could do. Well, that's like saying the tower or the pit is an endgame. Of course it is. How is it in PoE? Like you run a T1 map or you run a T15 map, dude? Like it's like the same in blue or in green, whatever. You know, what was the endgame in D2? Killing Baal a bunch of times? I mean, that's the ARPGs, dude. I mean, it's a power fantasy, guys. In Diablo and other RPGs, to me, the way is the goal. You know, like how you get there, that's like the goal and the fun. Like if you're just born like a literal god, endgame, gigachat character with all the best gear already, when you create a character, well, then it's boring, no? Like maybe it's fun for a day to be an immortal god, but then like it just gets boring because you one-shot everything and everything's easy. Right, like getting there, that's the journey, that's the fun. I mean, this is a lot of our philosophy, I guess. So that's why I enjoy playing video games, man. If you don't enjoy this kind, then ARPGs may not be the right game for you. The way is the goal, guys. Okay, let me see here how stuff's looking. We start in 10 minutes, guys. Okay, guys, let me start everything. I need to like close a couple things here, I guess. BlizzCon ticket sales. Oh, BlizzCon is gonna be amazing. Okay, let me see, guys. I'm going to be switching the scene to what we have for the interview. It's just going to take a few minutes to set everything up, guys. I'm also going to remove the countdown. We're going to temporarily remove the chat. Yeah, you can let me know some feedback, guys, later if the audio is fine and stuff. Just give me a few minutes, okay? So we just make the setup and stuff. So I'm probably going to go over here. Let me see. Everything's gonna work here. It's gonna be a few minutes, guys, and then we're gonna be ready with everything. I'm gonna start the call and or virtual camera, yes. Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Oh, looking forward to it. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna set everything up here with the cameras, and then we're good to go. Turning on this. Don't be confused, like my camera might look a little bit different than on the stream later. I'm just gonna see if I can pop this out. Okay.
Shit, I'm the odd one out. I should have had a black hoodie. I got a black jacket, maybe. I don't know.
Hell yeah. I mean, it was so funny on Rex's stream. Like, that was some good memes. That was great of you guys.
It's totally unplanned.
Yeah.
Just wing it. All right, chat, does that look good already? I'm gonna like adjust the positions a bit. Cut this a little bit. Yeah, okay, we're not all equal size, but it's a minimal thing. I think it's nice to have like a cool background here. Lilith is watching us, the Blessed Mother. All right. All right. Hey guys. So can we do a quick sound check maybe?
Yeah, hello? Can you hear me?
Okay, and Zaven?
Hello? Hi. Zaven. Don't worry about it.
Zaven, okay, sorry. All right, can you hear them fine, Chad? Mandatory blurred background. No paper towel incidents.
Yeah. Oh, there's so much stuff on this whiteboard. Oh, you can kind of see.
Oh yeah, okay, the spoilers,
Honestly,
guys.
Just a mess.
People trying to like already decipher like what's written on the whiteboard and stuff.
Yeah.
Wait for the secret finders to wonder where that poster is. They don't know.
Hell yeah, okay. I got the music off in the background. Okay. Should be good. All right. Are you guys ready?
Yeah,
I'm
We're
ready.
gonna do like a quick intro also for YouTube later and stuff, so it's gonna be nice.
Cool.
All right. Hey everybody, it's Rob here. Today we're hosting an interview with the Diablo 4 developers, Colin and Zaven. Colin, Zaven, thank you so much for taking the time and joining us today and answering some of the burning questions here from the community and me, of course, as well. To start, I want to focus a bit more on what's coming like in the like pretty immediate future of Diablo, like with all the stuff we have all been testing on the season 11 test server, potential learnings and changes we can possibly expect from the PTR. And then like towards the end, I want to talk a bit more like long-term plans for the future of the franchise and of Diablo 4.
Sounds great. Thanks for having us.
All right. So I'm jumping right in here. We have about 1 hour time, and just feel free to I have a ton of questions. Like if we can go longer, that'd be great. But if not, don't worry about it. It's all good. So I want to start like right with. Sorry.
We'll try to be efficient with the answers.
Hell yeah. Okay, I like that, man. That's one of my favorite words in gaming. Efficient. All right. So starting with the leveling experience. So right now. Running the campaign, especially on the PTR and also in the live game to a degree, seems to be like one of the most efficient ways and most rewarding parts just for leveling up your character. Now, I like that the campaign is like good and rewarding, but is it by design that this is like potentially like the best way to level up, even in comparison to, like going into like higher difficulty and leveling up there?
I'll say like we don't necessarily like the disparity between the campaign and the rest of the game right now, but we also don't want to just like take it away from the campaign and not give other vectors to create like a satisfying and sort of lucrative experience while you're leveling. So I'll try and be efficient. Like I think right now when we look at the leveling curve, we feel like the early 1 to 20 levels just feel a little bit too fast. You're leveling constantly, like every 10 seconds, and we just feel like that sort of cheapens the overall experience of, the sort of zero to hero power fantasy that Diablo is known for. So we kind of want to like slow that down, but then take all that time that we've sort of taken away and put it into, the sort of 50 to 60, or take it out of the 50 to 60, I should say. So overall, the same exact leveling time to level, but we just want to slow down the beginning part a little bit. Now, that's not exactly what you asked. But the sort of campaign stuff is something that we're taking a look at. We also want to like reward quest XP from certain quests a little bit more through the difficulty tiers, right? That'll help level up Nightmare Dungeons and Whispers and that sort of thing. So that is something we're looking into and we want to add to the game. And we think that'll sort of encourage you to play on hard and expert, right? If a Whisper turn in or, the individual Whispers or Nightmare Dungeon completion scale off of difficulty XP gains. And we think that'll like sort of create more of a competitive space between the campaign and the rest of the game. And then one more note is that we're also looking at the season's journey as like kind of the replacement for the campaign. If you don't want to play the campaign, I think the season's journey is like a good place to earn skill points and things like that. And I think right now one of the things that's sort of missing from that is some XP hits. So those are some of the things we're looking at.
Yeah, I really like that answer, in particular, like making higher difficulty more rewarding, because like this is not only a problem I feel oftentimes in the leveling, but also in the end game where you're not really getting like a crazy amount of rewards if you challenge your character. So if you can do something like in that direction, like what you mentioned, and like going more into like making when you actually like really challenge your character to make it more rewarding, because I also noticed this, for example, like fighting Duriel and like his horse of maggots in the Helltide, like the new thing in season 11, like that felt awesome. But it was also the same for those like maggots that you can kill with the divine gift. They give XP globes, but those globes, like they give the same XP, whether you did them on normal or on hard or even on expert or something, right? So is that also something that you might want to look at, because it's just like wasn't rewarding if you were challenging yourself in a harder difficulty.
Yeah, it's definitely something we're looking into. I will say there was like a bug where all the maggots were dropping XP globes also, which was creating kind of a crazy, insane leveling curve. Yeah, there's specific maggots, the Duriel maggots, and they have lots of XP globes in them because, they're Duriel maggots. So that's something we're fixing. We're also looking to make sure to compensate the overall curve and difficulty for it.
Okay, that's cool. I mean, I gotta say, like, leveling felt great. I was like initially worried because we didn't have any skill points to begin with, but I think you guys like tuned it already pretty well. And then if like the harder difficulties get a bit more rewarding, that's gonna be great.
I think we forgot it in the patch notes, so I'll just say it here and then we'll make sure it's in the patch notes. We actually did a pretty big baseline monster health and damage change. So in no way, shape, or form was this like, oh, we're gonna slow down the game and we want you to play longer. It's more like, if we're not going to give you 15 skill points to start, we should probably rebalance the base monster health and damage, which we did. And we want those skill points and Paragon points that you earn from the season's journey to feel like actual rewards, right? Like if we just took them out and didn't touch monster base health and damage, then you would just feel like you're treading water, getting back to the point where you were in the previous season. We don't want it to feel like that. We want those skill points and Paragon points to feel like a meaningful reward. So I'll just pull a number out of my ass. I think it was like, I'll give you an example of the amount of change we did. I think it's like, we'll use level 50 as a baseline. I think monsters have like 60% less health at level 50 or something insane like that. And like you don't really notice when you're playing the PTR, it just sort of feels good. But those were the changes that we've made, and we're dialing in for season 11 launch as well.
Yeah, from how it felt to me also, like it was like just as fast as season 10. It felt very smooth throughout the way. So I think it was already a good job. If more difficulty becomes more rewarding, it's perfect to me. Going on, like we have the reintroduction of the capstone dungeons on the PTR. I really like to see them come back, and also that you don't necessarily like lock all the difficulty behind the capstones now. But that being said, I noticed this in the capstones, but also in Diablo 4 in general, that bosses in particular often feel like they are like just overwhelmingly tanky and not really that engaging, at least from my perspective and from some of the sentiment that I hear from the community. This is like true in some capstone dungeons. It's also true specifically in the tower later on. So are there any like plans to rework like some of the boss designs or to rework some of the numbers to make the fights like less about like it being a damage sponge and a bit more interesting and maybe like a bit more on the dangerous side as well?
Yeah, on the tower end, a lot of that was kind of like a scaling bug, I guess, to some degree. So a lot of the tower bosses have had their health kind of brought in line with what you might normally expect from a boss at that tier in the pit, as an example, right? Because it scales a little way. As far as capstones are concerned, we kind of made one big change is they don't have resilience going forward anymore. So when season 11 launches, there's not going to be resilience on the capstone bosses. But beyond that, the goal is to make them a bit less tanky, but a bit more dangerous. And then specifically across the game bosses, it's just tuning, right? We're looking at it, but for those two features, they should be way less tanky and not be like 5-minute tower fights and stuff like that at the end.
Yeah, that sounds great. That's perfect for me.
Yeah. Real quick, I think it's an interesting insight. You'll probably appreciate this, Rob. Is like at a systems level, when we went and tuned all the rarity stuff, bosses were gaining. Trying to translate, it's all like Excel numbers, right? So it's hard to like create a player-facing value.
Oh yeah, give me some numbers. That'd be awesome.
Well, it won't mean anything, right? I'll tell you
like
what we see, which is like bosses had like an additional 4,000% HP. 4,000% doesn't really mean anything to you because it gets translated into something else. But you can think of it as like the bosses at a baseline are, if you take your average Sea Hag or dungeon boss, it's probably somewhere around like 60% of what they were from season 10. So all bosses across the game had like roughly a 60% nerf if they were a dungeon boss, and then it carries over into Varshan and Duriel and things like that, but at a lesser degree. Like it probably was like, I don't know, like a 10% HP nerf to Duriel, for example.
That's great.
So all the bosses did get nerfed in terms of HP.
Thanks for sharing this. I mean, we also love to crush numbers. So 60% less, that's good. That sounds really good, man. Like looking forward to be seeing that like once the season hits. Next, I want to talk about itemization, masterworking, tempering, that kind of stuff. So with the new ethics pool expansion, like you guys added like a ton of like new defensive aspects with the way that monsters are more dangerous and stuff. But it also feels like very hard now to get some items, especially like when you're enchanting. I noticed this specifically, like, I don't know, you're trying to get skill ranks on your gloves or something, or a certain passive on the amulet. It feels like much harder and often takes like dozens of rerolls at the enchanter. Are there any plans to make the enchanting, like, I don't know, like some more way to target it than just like pure RNG? Like maybe you add, you know, another option. Like I think right now we have 2 options and then no change as the third option. Like would you guys be open to adding like 3 options and then no change, or something like that? Because it's just like, I don't know, I guess like 5, 6, 7 new affixes on each item, and it just makes getting what you want like a lot harder, especially enchanting.
Yeah, I'll say like a couple of things that we changed from the PTR. As an example, is that we've added cooldown reduction to gloves, rings, and I think so that's already like 3 more sources of CDR. And we've also reduced, or we've changed the weighting of the CDR affix to be the same as like your average, you know, affix, so like crit chance and things like that. So it's like roughly 4 times as more common. So we are definitely looking at places where we can just sort of allow those types of things. We like that legendaries are sort of like create your own unique, right? We like that they're a little bit more random than the unique. So that is something we're always paying attention to. In terms of enchanting, I will say like it is a priority for the team to be looking more into crafting and end game of Diablo. I feel like we haven't like really hit the item modification or sort of slot machine, if you will, crafting loop that, you know, we know and love from Diablo. We think like we have a lot of like vertical growth on like make your item better, but we don't really have enough of the like, how do I like try and make this item really cool and awesome if it doesn't start out cool and awesome. So that is something that we are looking into, and we want to service better as part of the end game.
That's cool. Is that also something that you're looking to do on amulets? Because right now, even in the live game season 10, it's very hard to get like the amulet that you want. Like most players want an amulet like main stat percent and then 2 useful passives, right? And now with the new system, it's going to be like main stat and then 3 passives ideally, because I just don't see a world where you ever want like life per second on your amulet versus, you know, like 2 + 2 to heavy-handed or +2 to envenom or whatever passive that gives you 10% damage or something. So is there any like any plans to like maybe like I don't know, like make it a bit easier to get the amulet that you want? It's just so crazy now. Like I tried even with the cheat vendor, even with infinite obols on the cheat vendor on the PTR, I couldn't get the amulet that I want. It was not possible.
Yeah, run some more Undercity. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I think that is something that we're always looking at the affix list, and I think it's a good point. It's something we can definitely take away and look into. Some of it is like a really tricky balance, right? We're always trying to make sure that the affixes that do roll on base gear have some use or purpose, right? And I think life per second sort of like is in that category where it's like really hard to really put a nail on it, right? It's like, well, it's really good early. So does that mean we should like take it out of the pool entirely in the end game? And
the thing is,
that's something that the team struggles with.
The problem is what it's competing. You always got to see like what it's competing against, right? Like if you have life on an amulet, like life per second, or you have like 10 multiplicative damage or something. Like it's just like either the life per second value needs to be like absolutely crazy, or that passive needs to be, I don't know, +1, or there needs to be like maybe there's a cap of only 1 passive or only 2 passives on the amulet. But I mean, you can in theory even have 4 passives on your amulet. So the RNG is just out of this world with this.
I totally hear you on that. Like I think like to dive a little bit deeper into the philosophy, right? Like it's good to have affixes that are clearly not for your build or clearly not good compared to some of their affixes, because it creates that sort of high and low, right? Like if the amulet was always good and it reliably was always good, I think you wouldn't have that dopamine of like the triple talent or the passives, right? So it's something that we're really careful about on not trimming out too much. You know, if anything, we've heard a lot of feedback on this for like masterworking and tempering, where we've taken out some of the highs and lows, and people are like, oh, it kind of feels flat now. And it's like, yeah, that's what happens when we sort of streamline this and we bring in the highs and lows. So to give a real clear answer, I think like it's one of those things that we'll take away and look at it. I think like we do like the dopamine jackpot of multiple passives, but it's probably too much right now. It's probably too RNG. It's probably too 1 in a trillion, right? So I think that's something we can like slowly chip away and dial in, but it's not something that like we'll sledgehammer and say, okay, all the talents are now, or the passives, sorry, are now like 100% weighted, and everyone has amulets and everyone's running around with a ton of passives.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, and then one more question about the itemization part about that is we have a lot of cool affixes now. Like I like that we have like attack speed on weapon and this kind of stuff. But sometimes, especially in my chat and to newer players, this can lead to a lot of confusion because we have this like 2 different attack speed caps. We have like category 1, category 2, and then they get attack speed on the weapon, but maybe it doesn't even give anything to them because they're already at the cap and stuff. Do you see like potential of like simplifying this or consolidating these like 2 caps to make itemization more clear and maybe have like just 1 cap, it stacks up to 200, like simplify it a little bit because the game doesn't tell you about this anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's something we don't like, and we're working on making better. So nothing to share right now, but it's on our radar, and it's something that we are going to make better. As a philosophy thing, I kind of hate caps also. So I think as a team, we don't really like caps. It's Diablo, right?
It's caps to the fun, man. I keep saying that.
I know, it does cap to the fun. So that is something that we're looking at for attack speed and things like that. We want to make sure that, it is clear if we do have caps. Ideally, we don't have caps. And that's something we're always trying to balance around.
I like it. Awesome, man. Cool. Okay, then Sanctification. Now, this is like a little bit of a controversial one, as I'm sure you guys have seen, like based on some of the forum talks and stuff. So I really like Sanctification as a great concept, but its introduction, like almost kind of like the main season 11 mechanics, like, I mean, that's at least how some people perceived it. It has like raised a lot of expectations about the system within the community, right? And well, I personally like mainly see it as like the final, rather mandatory to sanctify their gear, right?
Did you cut out for you, Colin?
You cut out, yeah.
Oh, sorry, guys.
Could you repeat the last 2 sentences you said?
Oh, yeah, I think it was my internet. Oh, 1 second. Guys.
Cut it out again.
Oh, no.
Are we here?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. I think it was something with my internet. It's the German internet here. We have a reconnect feature for the stream, but I hope it just works now.
We hate caps, right?
Yeah, we hate caps. And I was asking, did you hear about Sanctification?
Caps on the internet.
I'll start over at Sanctification. Like, caps was down,
go
I
ahead.
think. Yeah. Okay, we're back, guys. Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm going to start again on Sanctification. Sorry about that. We're back now, guys. You might need to F5. So Sanctification baseline is a great concept, but its introduction, almost like a main season 11 mechanic, seems to have raised certain expectations within some parts of the community. Like, while I personally see it mainly as like a final gamba step, as an option to fix like extra gear and make it even better. And many players, like, they don't see it as optional, but rather mandatory, to sanctify their gear. And then obviously they have like a chance of breaking it, like at the end of the progression, like curve of the item, right? So how would you respond to that perception? And what is the original like intent behind this like sanctification system?
Yeah, I'll start with the original intent, which is it totally is supposed to be this sort of final Gamba moment, right? Like you're going to get a bunch of swords that are sort of similar, and maybe you have like 2 GA, you have 2 swords that have 2 GAs. And you're like, well, I really want potentially to get the other one to be better, right? So we like that you can slam it, and it potentially sometimes makes it better than the current one you have equipped. So we think that's like really healthy for the item game because it means you're always excited about getting new items to try this final step on it. So that's the intention. I think you're totally right. Putting it in the seasonal sort of front and center space, there's a lot of expectations that it's going to feel very powerful. It's always going to be really good because we've sort of created that precedent with seasonal powers and things like that. So we do think we sort of were a little bit too conservative. We were trying to tune it for more of like an eternal approach because we want something like this in the game. And that's why I was a little bit more conservative. And we've heard a lot of feedback that it doesn't feel as exciting as like a new seasonal mechanic. So that's something that we're looking at to make better and make it more exciting for season 11. I will say, like, as a dev insight, it is an interesting challenge for us in that we want to add to the game and enrich the game and make the game bigger overall. But we find when we add seasonal mechanics, there's like a lot of pressure for this to be really bombastic, really sexy, super power budget breaking, and just constantly adding those things over time is sort of what's gotten us into this like crazy bloat and power creep. You can think of mythics like this, right? Everyone's running around the same 3 to 4 mythics because they're really exciting and cool, and they broke the power budget, and it's like, let me keep all these. So it's a challenge for us to come out with something like this, then immediately integrate it into the game. So we're sort of taking an approach more of like, let's add something really cool and exciting. We're going to take big risks, and then we're going to take it back, and then we're going to sort of retool it and see how can we integrate this idea, if we like it and the players like it, back into the game that enriches the overall experience. Because we don't want, for example, like to touch on chaos uniques, is like, okay, we added Chaos Uniques wholesale to the game, and 6 months from now, everyone is running the exact same 4 mythics, and everyone on the Spiritborn's running around with Rod of Kepaleki on their boots, and there's no build diversity, and the game has sort of narrowed in a lot of ways. So,
and to add one thing is, you kind of, I think you mentioned earlier before we had the cut, it's like this idea of there's some mixed reactions and mixed feedback a little bit. And I think part of that is different parts of the community have different expectations over what the systems and stuff can provide. For some people, their expectation is like, well, if I'll put in the time and I'll sort of semi-deterministically get to the place that I want to go. Right. Whereas I think there's a subset, not comparing sizes. There's a different set of people who are like, no, I just want like any crazy shit to be able to happen. Right. And I want it to be like hyper rare and super difficult to do, not in terms of like a mechanical challenge in the game, but just as, it's a thing that can happen. Holy shit, jaw dropped or something like that. Right. Like is the commonly cited example. And whenever we add those kinds of things, like we're kind of doing with, Sanctification or even the amulet thing we were talking about, it's, hey, that seems really out of reach. That RNG seems really out of reach, but it feels required. I think figuring out ways that we could position these things in the game where they do feel like, that's a crazy cool thing that can happen versus if I don't get this, I fail outright. Right. Okay. Is just like a constant balancing act that we have to look at. But my hope is that we can eventually kind of have everyone happy with the stuff that we're making fitting in and slotting into their experience in the right time and place. I think if we can do that, then everyone can kind of walk away like, oh yeah, crazy shit can happen, but it's a bonus. I don't actually need it to happen, right? Okay. But it's a really challenging balance.
Yeah, I see. It's just like, I think the community is very split on this. So I have a few follow-ups on this. So like with the way things are going, like would you consider like allowing like a little post sanctification like edits, for example, letting us add sockets or letting us swap the aspect? Because it happened to me. Like I was running an aspect on the item and then I sanctified and I got the same aspect. Like so would you be open to like look into like allowing some of these like minor modifications?
I think right now we really like the idea that it's a final step. Like, I think it's important that you sort of like have this, moment where you're like, should I do this? Right. Because I think that adds to the anticipation of the moment and the drama of the moment. And I think the more we sort of allow, modifications post, it's sort of a slippery slope. It's like, well, why not enchanting also? And why not changing the temper? And I think like, it's certainly something we're willing to get feedback on. We do want to try it in its full form of like the full Gamba, I think there are some nice things though that we can potentially look at on like, if you have this aspect, maybe we won't roll that aspect because that literally is worthless, right? Yes. At the same time, like the high highs and low lows, right? Like if you're going to do this on 3 different items and one of them it happens, it's like, well, go find another sword, right? But I think it's definitely something we'll take feedback on, right?
Yeah, I mean, I totally like that. Like that, it incentivizes me to pick up like all the 1 greater affix items because like good 1 greater affix item sanctified is better than a 3 greater affix with a bad sanctification. So it really adds like more like reasons to pick more items and to keep more items because they can possibly throughout modifying it be better. So I really like that part. One more thing about sanctification is the indestructible outcome. So obviously like this was like I think kind of like the intention to have this as a nothing outcome. But would you consider like either because the RNG is pretty crazy. I don't know if you would consider removing it or at least like reworking it slightly so it's at least useful to something like maybe, and I saw this a lot in the community, make it for all characters. I remember from the Rex interview, you guys were like looking into more ways to support like, having a second character and all this stuff. Maybe it could reduce the level requirements of the item to 0 or something instead of making it indestructible. Like that was one idea that was out there. Is that on the table? Something like this?
Yeah, I mean, I love the level requirement. We love the alting. I think probably for season 11, that's probably not something we're going to be able to do. But to touch on like the indestructible, yes, we are looking at essentially removing that outcome and giving you something as a bonus in return. And I think again, it's in the spirit
you said
of
removing
like
or moving. What do you say?
Remove it. Like indestructible won't be an outcome. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
That's a big W.
But yeah, I think it's something that like again, to be super clear, I think the sort of perspective we're taking on it is like, okay, it is a seasonal power thing. We're going to go crazy with it. It's probably going to be very generous, right? I think if we ever bring it back as a Gamba step, I think it does need to be a lot more conservative, right? To hit that like sweet balance of it's a bonus and it's something I'm really only looking to do on duplicate items. I think the median outcome has to be pretty close to like the top end outcome, or it starts to feel mandatory. And I'll give you an example. I think tempering suffered from this, right? When tempering recipes was a 1 in 5, and one of those was double projectiles for the core skill you were using, it just felt infinitely bad to get the core skill you weren't using. And that median is just far and away so far removed from the top end outcome that, I just don't think that's, it creates a really unfun experience, right? So really to repeat myself, and I apologize, like I think like the eternal version, if we end up bringing it back, like if players really enjoy it, I think we're probably going to squish those bounds a little bit so the top end outcome isn't just wildly better than the median outcome. So we're going to remove the Indestructible. The other thing we're also doing is looking at essentially tying more of the rarity of the item to the craziness, crazy bad outcomes. So as an example, probably going to make it so that rares sometimes have crazy bad outcomes, right? It's like you're going to get a bunch of rares. We're not super worried about that. But a mythic ancestral, probably not super cool if, your Shaco gets the G8 CDR removed, right? So we're probably going to remove the bad outcomes for like the higher quality items. But we still want that randomness on some of the lower quality items because the fantasy is really cool, right? Like, oh, I got this normal and legendary item. What if I could make it super fucking awesome? And now it's like an ancestral with like, I don't know, like a mythic aspect on it.
Hell yeah, that's really cool. I love these changes, man. That's great. I think that fixes like a lot of the gripes that people have with Sanctification as of now. But we'll see when it comes out. Next topic I want to cover here is toughness, attack power, and just like the stat changes that you guys did. So I was very happy because I'm coming from D3. You guys know, like I love D3, and I feel great to get the toughness like returning from Diablo 3. But in its current form in Diablo 4 on the PTR, it was a bit unclear to me and also to many others what the number actually means or what it actually represents. There's like no intuitive way for you to know if you are like ready for a certain tournament or world tier. Before you could always know like, okay, if I have like 50 or 70 all-res, or if I have like close to armor cap, I would be like, pretty good on surviving. But now you basically have no idea what does it mean to have 100,000 toughness? What does it mean to have 500,000 toughness? So would you consider adding maybe some kind of like recommended toughness, maybe to like the world statue or something to help the player like gauge like how much they need for their survivability?
Yeah, that's something that we're looking into. It's been really good feedback on the toughness system. I think the suggested toughness is something we're looking to. It's a tricky balance, right? Because I think you could look at attack power and say, well, attack power isn't actually super clear. It's not exactly correct.
That's one of my next questions. I mean, if you want to go into it, that also works.
So it's a tricky balance to not enter into the attack power territory. We're trying to tell you, like, well, really, you just need X amount of toughness and you're going to be fine, because it's like, well, like Farshawn or one of the lair bosses, maybe that's a cool fishing thing we could do. Yes. The lair bosses, might one-shot you, and you're like, what the fuck, Blizzard? Like you said, I just needed this toughness, and I got slammed by Duriel. So it is something that we do want to just give a little bit more feedback to the player on like what's going on with toughness. Really, a lot of the toughness changes were to from our perspective, like we don't like caps, right? And we felt like defensives are pretty shallow, and we wanted more sort of leg room and progression to the defensives of the game. And we also just wanted more consistent EHP or effective health. We felt like there were just so many different conditional DRs that you had to stack once you're sort of capped at your armor and resistances, that it just created a lot of disparity between the classes, and it made it really hard to scale up monster damage. Like we want to scale monster damage, we want defensives to be part of the sort of deep end game and something you have to pay attention to. So toughness was just a nice like, oh, we can kind of like make this a little bit more clear to the player because we're moving to a rating system which scales much better in an infinitely scaling game.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay, so on the attack power then, as a displayed stat, this can be like pretty misleading right now, especially for new players, because they kind of like get somewhat debated. Like if you have damage percent on an amulet, or you have +2 to Envenom passive, the Envenom passive is conditional, so it doesn't show on attack power, and the additive damage, which is just in this large pool of all the other damage stuff, like basically gives nothing. And I always get this question like, why am I not doing the damage that you do, or what are you doing with your attack power and stuff? So Are there any plans to improve that? How the attack power is calculated or communicated in the UI?
Yeah, I think so we are changing it to just be your weapon damage. So that will help with like, oh, I have a two-hander versus a sword and shield. So there's no more calculations that it's doing. It's just going to tell you what your weapon damage is. Because we felt like, we agree, it was misleading, right? People were trying to make itemization choices around attack power when it was meaningless. So we just said, you know what, we're just going to make it weapon damage. Weapon damage is really important, right? So you always want higher weapon damage. That is for sure accurate. And that's the change that we're going to be.
I mean, unless you're playing something like Thorns, but that's very like niche. I mean, that's another like that's great. That sounds good. Like 'cause it's just very hard to explain this over and over again. So very cool to see like the UI and the tooltips represent that. That's very cool. I want to talk about like with the toughness changes again, like in end game setups, especially in season 11, like certain builds like with Melted Heart and like some of the Spiritborn evade builds with like a bunch of barrier. I think it was crazy for toughness. Like it felt like I was already like in the ultra end game, like already close to immortal again, even with having like very dangerous monsters. Do you plan on keeping like pit and tower monster like damage scaling like the same, or would you consider like at some point like having the higher tiers, like also with like the boss HP reduction, like maybe make them more dangerous, like on the very high tier? Like I think in the beginning it was already like very tough, but towards the end I felt like I was outscaling the content like way easy with my toughness, because as far as I know the monster damage doesn't keep scaling in those towers.
Yeah, so we have made a change where we've kind of chilled out on the damage scaling from Torment 1 to 4. It felt like it was like pretty aggressive considering, you weren't getting as much DR and EHP. So we've sort of chilled out the monster damage from Torment 1 to 4. And then we are planning on continuing to scale monster damage at some rate past Torment 4. So you're totally right. At 100, we stopped scaling monster damage. We are looking to scale it by some amount every tier after. Of course, within the bounds of reason, right? Because like you start to hit a diminishing return on a lot of your EHP gain. So that is something that we're dialing in currently. But we do want to continue to sort of ask the player to consider their defenses. We don't really like the idea that you're just running around immortal.
Yeah, cool. And I mean, you guys said it in Rex's interview as well, that there is like some more potential like group synergy coming. And I think right now with this, how it works right now, like bringing like toughness, damage reduction buffs to the group felt kind of underappreciated. So I think with that change, that's also going to change a lot. And you maybe want, some guy that heals you, that gives you toughness, that stuns the monsters like the rogue does, for example. So I think that's a really cool development. Like for the high tiers, like actually make it dangerous, make it more like exciting, and make it less of a damage sponge. So that's also another cool change.
We want like some of the elites to be like, oh, should I even engage this elite, right? Like I assume we're going to talk about the tower at some point, but like I think like what's really cool. What's really cool about that, right, is sometimes there's some cool strategy on like, you know what, I'm just not gonna fuck with that elite. Like I'm gonna skip this one because it's gonna take me too much time, or it's gonna wreck my day. When we think of that kind of strategy in the really deep end game of Diablo is fun. So we want to maintain that.
Okay, sounds great. Yeah, I think it's good to move on to. I want to do the pit first and then the tower after that. So in the pits, you guys added Belial and with the eyes and stuff. I think it's a great addition baseline. Like they keep the pace up and they really help to prevent like these monster shortages, because sometimes in the live game, I mean, I guess many of you listening here know this, like sometimes you just run out of monsters to kill, and that never feels good in a pit or in any ARPG, because you just don't have enough progress to spawn the boss and you have to backtrack or something. So by clicking the eyes, I think it's really cool on higher tiers and stuff that you can like get extra progress. But I heard a lot of frustration from controller players, but also for myself. Sometimes there's like, when you're doing like a high tower tier, like there's like some monsters like right on the eyes and you can't click them, and it's a whole fuss on a controller. It can be very frustrating. So would you consider like making them maybe like auto activate, or like any other way of triggering them when you like walk near them or something like that?
Yeah, by the way, I'm really excited that we're being able to try some crazy stuff in the pit. And I know it starts kind of simple, right? But it's like, okay, now that we have this tower off on the side, we can start just doing kooky stuff here. And the monster shortage thing that you're talking about, like, is something we actually attacked very specifically in the tower. So in the future, the hope is to actually backport that stuff and just eliminate that issue entirely in the pit. For Belial Eyes specifically, the plan is that when Season 11 launches, if you get near them, they'll pop.
Yes.
So you don't actually have to do the hard interact. You could just like physically walk near them to some short radius, and then they'll just pop. So change forthcoming.
All right, cool. You guys are killing it, man. That sounds awesome. Like I'm even more excited for Season 11 now. So one more thing there. Like the main reason, like for running pits to me was like I farm my glyphs, I farm XP, and I have also a nice way to farm obols. I don't know if it was bugged on the PTR, but on the PTR, the XP significantly nerfed, obols completely removed. I don't know. Can you explain like the reasoning behind these changes and like what the design goals are? Maybe it was just a bug. I don't know. But I think they added a nice touch of variety and an extra convenience to run them, because we talked about this earlier. Like running high pits was already not rewarding at all.
Yeah, it's definitely a bug.
Okay, so XP is not going to change, and obols are going to stay.
Yes, yeah, it's a bug that the obols aren't dropping. We did some XP backend changes, and we're looking into why it's there's such a big disparity right now.
Okay, because it feels like XP is like half basically, and obols are going to come back. Okay, that's nice. Because I was like thinking maybe they move it to the Undercity or something, but I think it's really cool to have some extra incentive basically of farming that. That's really cool to see.
Yeah, it's a PTR.
Okay, yeah, nice. And then I always want to like talk a bit more about the XP, and the most efficient pit here that we farm right now is really focused only about speeds, right? From my perspective, if you want to be efficient, we had that word a lot in the beginning. If you want to be efficient, you always play a tier that is in no way challenging to your character, because the way that the reward scale, in comparison to D3, for example, we had like 17% health, and then I think we had 7% XP. In Diablo 4, it's like 20% health, and then 1% or less than 1% XP scaling. So it always feels like you're only forced to do speed content if you want to be efficient, right? Obviously, you can try to do higher pit tiers, but it always ends up completely inefficient. So are there any ways to change that, and what's like the future direction that you want to take with this like challenging content and the rewarding system around it?
Yeah, I think this is sort of like endemic to, I would say, the game right now, which is, you can get very quickly into a situation where you are just blasting, let's just say Torment 3. But Torment 4 is just so much harder that you can't even go into Torment 4, and nothing in Torment 3 challenges you. And we don't like that scenario where you don't feel like you have some place to push into and have like a more sort of rewarding and difficult experience. So that's like one thing we don't really like about the current how the torments are tuned, is that it's to sort of feast or famine. So that is something we're looking into. We want to add some more torments to sort of smooth out that journey, because we think it feels much better when you feel like you have a place to fall back to just sort of turn your brain off and blast and farm. We love that. We don't want to like take that away or make that feel like it's an ineffective way to play the game. Mm-hmm. At the same time, we don't like that there isn't like that next sort of mountain to climb, where you can challenge yourself and play in a difficulty where you can actually sort of get by and you feel rewarded for it. So that's something we're tackling, and that will carry over into the pit, right? Because the pit is very much tied to the torment tiers. So nothing for season 11, I think, in terms of huge swings, but it is something that we are trying to make better, and we want to make better for the future.
Awesome. Yeah, that's cool. I just want to be like, rewarded for more challenge. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to call on to say the thing. So kind of like intent for like how we view these kind of peaks in the game is we've kind of often referred to this internally as a series of summits, right? I climb to the top of this mountain, and then from there I can see all these other places I can go, and all these other challenges and places I can journey to and challenge myself to go climb, right? But when the game just kind of feels like it's just this nice, perfectly flat thing, that's what it kind of feels like, right? It's flat. So we really want to make these high points that you can push yourself to, and then you can see all these other things that you can challenge yourself to do in terms of a journey.
Cool. Okay, nice. And then the last thing about the pits, and this also translates into the tower. Like there is quite some disparity in some of the maps, right? You have this like open desert, like the pit map, and then you have sometimes these like narrow spots where you run into dead ends and stuff. And this can just lead to like a lot of frustration and backtracking issues we talked about earlier. So also in that direction, maybe you adding more monsters, like you talked about that earlier already, but are there also like updates planned for like the map generation and how those works to like streamline and make this like a little more fair and less fishy? Because fishing was a big thing in D3, and to some degree, like if you want to get on the leaderboards, I think you will have to fish for the maps. And any improvements we can expect in this direction?
So I think Tower is it's not perfect. We're not pretending it is. We've already found a bunch of bugs from people posting screenshots and stuff everywhere of Tower maps. So thank you for that. Keep going. We will keep iterating and fixing those things up. But you can kind of look at the difference in generation rule sets between Pit and Tower as an indication of places that the Pit can go. And again, I mentioned this in a previous stream, like we've rebuilt the back end like completely to be able to be smarter with some of this stuff. So I'm just going to rapid fire some things that Tower does, and some things it's going to do when we actually hit Season 11 proper, right? So Tower generates maps going screen up, like up, right? You don't actually ever go back. You don't go down screen. So with our isometric camera, it's actually much harder, even if it's like a little bit, to play down screen of where your character is. So generally speaking, you're going up toward the left or right corner, or in some cases, kind of just like straight up. The dead ends, there's not really dead ends south of you. There are some cases where there are very minor, as small as we can make it, dead ends north of you. Again, your camera can see further into those. You'll know they're a dead end before you actually walk too deeply into it. Some of the changes that we're planning to make when Season 11 launches proper is to make sure that the highest value stuff doesn't actually even spawn in those dead ends. So there's not going to be elites and things like that, tucked away in a closet 5 miles off screen or whatever. Everything's going to be on this kind of main path. So there's going to be some navigation tests, right? Like being able to know that I'm actually headed the wrong way and things like that. And that's just part of the overall mastery of Diablo 4. I know all the tile sets. I know generally how they roll. That makes me better than the person who keeps walking to a dead end. Look at that schmuck. He doesn't know that that's what the tile does. I know, so I'm better.
It's
right?
the meta
So situations like
yes.
that, we don't want to remove. Yeah, exactly. It's like full mastery, right? When we say mastery, it's not just my gear is good. I have knowledge of the game at such a deep fundamental level that I can look into the thing and say like I know where the algorithm is going, right? It's a learnable thing to some degree for some of our best players. All this stuff, eventually we're really excited to eventually take it back to the pit, but when it gets there, this consistency is not the primary goal, right? The benefits of everything we're doing right now shaves off all the worst cases. There is no long ass tunnel going to the left, but I was actually supposed to go right. Like that just doesn't actually happen in the tower in the same way that it happens in the pit. So yeah, we're going to take those things away, but we're actually open to doing some crazier stuff, more open layouts in some cases, maybe some more densely packed ones than usual. And there are some cases where tile sets have disparities that are kind of baked into the art, right? Like art's beautiful, but it's like, well, caves are caves, right? And forests are forests, and there's not really a difference. So we're also removing some of the kind of the more narrow, tunnely stuff when Season 11 launches, and we're kind of taking those offline for a while until we can figure out a solution to reintroduce them. But again, that's tower, and pit can go as varied as we want. We can have dungeons that are significantly longer, significantly shorter, wider, crazy shapes and stuff like that. But no matter what we do in the pit, the intention is not to say like, we put the exit behind you and there's 7 miles in front of you. Isn't that variety? It's like, no, that's not variety. That's just dumb. So eventually we'll shave off all those, variety that's just bad, right? Strictly bad in all cases. But there will be a bit more wider range of possibilities in the pit eventually. And tower is going to be this narrow, but tower we're looking at as kind of the foundation that we're going to build the pit off of in the future.
Hell yeah. Well, that sounds cool.
Yeah, and to give an example that I love that we talk about, Zaven and I, is like, it's probably not cool if 1 in 10 runs, I'll use D3 as an example, like jail, jail's the best fucking, layout. It's amazing. It's probably not cool if, the tower 1 in 10 rolls jail, because now you're just fishing for jail. But we're super cool with that in the pit, right? Like we actually think that's awesome. If sometimes you run the pit and you get this insane clear, we actually think that's really fun. So that's why it's like really cool that we can branch them, because we want the pit to be a little bit more varied, a little bit more wacky, and it lets us do crazy shit like all goblins and things like that, right? And it's not going to hurt the competitive integrity that everyone's looking for out of the tower.
Yeah, cool. I mean, tower is.
I've seen a lot of, I've seen a lot of like commentaries like, oh, the tower is so close to the pit. It's like, yeah, technically true. My perspective, pit's too close to the tower. The pit's the thing that really needs to go to Crazy Town. And I think one of the reasons we're seeing that feedback is, well, that's because the pit is like this very strictly, rule set guided thing. And obviously that's great for a competitive mode. And so tower is going to be ideally the best version of that we can make, better than what the pit can provide. And once we have that, pit can just run. It can just do whatever the hell it wants.
So on that note, because I also heard that a lot, I feel what would change how people like see it in their mind is like it starts with how you open it. I feel like right now you open it like opening it at the same spot. Just in their minds, it's the same thing. So I would like, I don't know if you guys consider like giving it like a stronger identity, like maybe have like a big physical, beautiful asset, like a tower structure or something in the city. I think there's a lot of like dead space all around with like a unique visual asset, like maybe even like a short quest line or something to introduce like the tower as something like completely separate from the pit. Because I feel like it just starts right there with how you open it. And that's why it's the same in so many people's heads right now.
Yeah, the decision to kind of put them together was honestly kind of out of convenience. I know you mentioned there's a lot of dead space, but one of the issues that we've got is we have a lot of towns, we have a lot of capitals, and not everything is everywhere. And the more objects there are to add, the more difficult it becomes to start actually populating this thing across the game. So because these things are so integrated in terms of their underlying stuff, it just made sense to put it in the same object. That being said, the long-term plan is there is going to be some experiential differences between the two that are more pronounced. Things like the reward structure is going to be wildly different in the tower. There's going to be, eventually we'll have some more flavorful stuff, not mechanical stuff, just like fun stuff that can happen in the tower as well. So over time, they will diverge a bit, but keeping in the obelisk just lets us make this a very portable thing. Because something else that we're looking at is saying, well, what can we do to try to make it that you're not just like trapped in Karagar forever? Right? Like maybe you can go somewhere else and do some of these things. And so kind of condensing the number of interaction points lets us be more flexible about that in the future.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool that we can like test all the tower stuff like right now. It's just like, so many people, they're gonna like see this as the first time, and that's how they're gonna like feel about it, right? Like if they see it for the first time, and right now, the way I understand it, there's not gonna be any rewards for the tower when it launches in when the beta of the tower launches in season 11. And I think one of the biggest problems is also there's not gonna be, as far as I understand, there's not gonna be an inspect feature. And I think this is like also going to be a big frustrating point for a lot of players. So can you like maybe share a little bit if this is this a feature that is prioritized like early post the launch, or also like when do you guys think roughly like these rewards are going to come in? Because like for like a total casual player that doesn't really care much about the leaderboard, like he just hears about this like new tower endgame, and then like why would he go do it?
Yeah, I'm gonna just answer this in reverse order, but I'm going to say everything I'm going to talk about is not in season 11.
Yes.
It is long-term plans. Some are shorter than others, right? But it's something that we know we're going to be developing tower for a while. It's not going to happen in one seasonal cycle. So in terms of inspect, so the game has a profile. You can set that profile to private. I'm saying this because separate to that, the intention is you can view builds on the tower. So your profile setting private has no bearing on people's ability to see the build that you ran. So long term, no secret builds on the leaderboard. Everyone can look at it. No hiding. You're going to operate in daylight, right? Everyone can see what you did. Right, and we think this is really important to kind of preserve some of the integrity of the tower, but also just I think something that makes Diablo really special is this constant like communication about what's the right thing and being able to see what other people do and things like that. And we don't want to erode that with the tower, right? We actually want to celebrate it. We want to put a big spotlight on it, like holy shit, that guy got first. What did he do, right? And then can I do the same thing better? Maybe I see the build and I just don't know how to do it. What is he actually executing in terms of commands? What's his skill and things like that? And like I said, there's a whole other information layer that we are anticipating and expecting and building towards, where it's like, you can copy my build, but I know literally every square inch of the game better than you. So it doesn't really matter if you copy my build. So in terms of skill expression, we're just looking at it as one more facet, but not something that we have to like protect. So build viewer. Other thing you mentioned is rewards. So I'm going to talk about this conceptually as two things. One is tower rewards and what is leaderboard rewards. So tower rewards are not aimed at people in terms of their competition with other people. It's more about your competition with yourself. So the idea is, and right now we're thinking this is like it'll be reset, right? So a new season starts eventually when this is, and we'll clear the board. Is to create kind of a pseudo reputation system for the tower exclusively, that the reward rank is tied to your ability to clear certain difficulty tiers. So as an example, there's a reward at tier 1 completion, and there's a reward at 5, and then 10, and goes all the way to 150. And this would be stuffed with functional rewards, gear, currencies, and things like that, but also transmogs in some cases. So this is like the really big, I don't care about the social aspect. I don't care about being number one. I just want a really good way to push myself and incentivize myself to push further and further up the tower, further and further up the difficulty tiers. And that's something that's going to be exclusive for the tower rewards, right? That's tower. Leaderboard rewards. So we've talked kind of about this like cyclical approach where every, n amount of time we reset the leaderboard and then people have to go and vie for first place again. So we're still talking about what that duration is going to be. There is no like final call. There's probably going to be mention about like a 1 week cycle or a 2 week cycle or whatever. We're going to listen to the community. If people have thoughts, please post them. Please talk about it. We read all this stuff. But whenever a cycle ends, the idea is that we look at the top some amount of people. I'm saying some amount because, is it top 10, top 100, top 1,000? I don't know. Across all the leaderboards, right? All the class leaderboards, 2-player, 3-player, 4-player, and then a hardcore version of all of those, right? Top placements across those boards. The idea is we would also give some functional rewards, right? So there's gear, currencies, things like that. But there's 2 new things that we want to really develop. And these are the things that are, again, going to take a while. So rewards, this is why they're not immediately available, right? Because we want to make sure Tower is super high integrity space before we start giving out some prestige stuff. So one is prestige titles. The idea being that your character earns the right to have this title, and there's some special formatting and visuals on that, and it looks different than all the other titles in the game, right? And it belongs to that guy, not your account, right? Not your season. You can't just equip it on a level 1 or anything like that. It belongs to that guy. So holy shit, that guy got first place on the Barb leaderboard or something like that, right?
Yeah, that's cool. I really like the idea with the milestones that you mentioned, like having like certain milestones for certain, like, I don't know, if you every 10 or every 5 tiers or something that you personally beat, you get a milestone reward. That's going to be cool. And this inspect feature, I think, is also so important to help shine light on, like, if there is like some potential bugs that are going to go on. Because with the introduction of leaderboards, people have, at least some people have some incentive to, like, unfortunately, like, hide these bugs or not share them or something, right? And so if you have an inspect function, like, you can definitely figure this out much faster if potentially there's a bug going on or something like that.
The last kind of big thing that we're talking about doing right now is something we're calling Halos, which is an exclusive cosmetic that your character can equip. Again, it belongs to the character, right? You can't just make a level 1 and say like, oh yeah, he did the thing. It's like, no, that guy did it. And again, this is a very exclusive list of people are going to be able to do this. It's the top placer placements from across the community. So we're looking for ways for people to celebrate it, to have bragging rights. And the reason why we don't have all these rewards in place right now is, like, for any of that to make sense or matter, everything actually has to be functional. It has to actually be balanced, right? It has to be, it has to be perceived as fair by the community. It has to be accepted by the community. So we want to make sure we do that before we just start handing out candy, right? So we're committed to doing this. It's going to happen. All eyes right now are on making sure Tower is a competitive place, that it has leaderboard integrity and things like that. We've talked about SSF and things like that potentially coming to help strengthen those things, and that would be its own section, right? So imagine the person who did Barb SSF potentially in the future, and they've got a Halo. It's like, oh shit, that guy did that.
Hardcore Barb SSF.
Hardcore Barb SSF. Yeah. Colin knows I play hardcore, so he's keeping me honest.
Yeah, that sounds like very, very fun. And like also, like, if you're just in the city and some people can see it, oh, this guy has the I don't know, the rank 1 Giga Wings or something, like, whatever, right? And that's gonna be pretty cool. One last thing to touch on that, and maybe you already considered this or something to maybe consider. In D3, I think it was great with how you had this like pop-up. Like there was like the dopamine hit that Rux was talking about 2 days ago as well. Like when you actually did the rank 1 or when you did a rank, there would be like a broadcast to your like entire friend list. You would see like a nice pop-up, like, I don't know, you did rank 1, this is your final time, and this kind of things. Like that was also completely missing from this like PTR version. So are there like these UI updates, like that's also like planned, I guess?
Yeah, absolutely. What we have right now is good. It's functional. It's just to like do a simple layer of communication for this to not feel like nothing happened. But the plan is eventually to embellish a lot more, to give more information, to provide information about your rank, potentially where you sit in relation to other people and things like that across the leaderboard. Yeah, we've got big plans for the communication layer of this as well.
Cool. All right. So the next big last topic I have on the season 11 stuff is like class balance and how you guys approach it. So with season 11, obviously, like the power level has been extremely, extremely high with some crazy power creep. And now in season 11, like that seems to go like a bit more down to earth, right? We don't necessarily need builds to hit for like 2 quadrillion damage and all this stuff. However, there is a valid concern I feel in the community about the class balance. Like right now we have so many like builds in S tier. I think in my tier list we have like 16, 17 like S tier builds that are all like crazy, crazy good in season 10. And that does seem to narrow down, at least based on the PTR observings, that does seem to narrow down quite a bit with season 11, and power level obviously goes down. So how does the team like evaluate this like class balance, and what is it balanced around? Is there maybe like a certain tower or pit level that you guys think a build should be able to reach? And if yes, how high would that be, or how do you approach this entire like class balance?
Yeah, I think I can help answer this. So one change that we are making from the PTR is we're reducing the pit tier scaling, so that generally that's going to give, I don't know, 5 to 10 tiers to all builds, and we think that's going to push them much more into like the deeper pits, right? We are trying to like just holistically, not just in season 11, look at all the places where we feel like we're just giving out power for power's sake and it's bloating the overall system. We sort of have 2 categories of power. One is, we want there to be chunky bonuses that you can look for, right? Like legendaries, uniques, and we think those are really fun and cool. And those are always multiplicative, obviously. I think the places where we're not super convinced that it's adding a ton of coolness and variety to the game are like, you could look at the skill tree passives, for example. It's like, do all 15 sources of multiplicative damage need to be there? I think that's something we're talking about. Paragon glyphs are also sort of a place for that, right? It's like debatable. Like, is it cool to have this big multiplier on the Paragon glyph? It's like, yeah, like it incentivizes you to push in the pit. But, I think there's also something to be said about aggregating a bunch of statistics to slowly sort of make your character stronger. And I think right now we sort of emphasize too much on like the multiplicative bonuses. So, sorry, that was a long answer to my question. So we are looking at reducing the pit tier scaling. As far as like what do we consider viable, I think like generally what we've been thinking about is like we've noticed that a lot of players sort of anchor around like maxing out their glyphs, and I think we've been pushing a little bit closer to like, okay, S tier means that everyone can sort of max out their glyphs in the pit. So that's why we're giving sort of everyone 5 to 10 pit tiers. We're probably not going to land in a place where everyone's doing 100 in season 11, but we're looking for like 80, 85, and we kind of want at the top end, that's sort of where players are going to be landing. Our hope, there might be some crazy stuff that people cook up or crazy things that sort of push past that, but we think generally that's like a pretty healthy balance to be in. But it's always sort of a sliding scale depending on what the community feels like an important milestone for the game is. It's to give maybe a more broad answer is, I think we sort of want to architect the game in a way where you have satisfying endpoints where you're like, okay, I did this thing, like to go back to what Zaven was saying on the summits, like I've scaled this summit, I've like maxed out a glyph, or I've beat this capstone, I'm feeling really good. Do I want to keep going? And I think like that's the question we like when the players ask themselves is like, should I keep going, or do I want to make a new character, or do I just want to take a break for this season and come back refreshed for another exciting season in 3 months? So that's sort of our thought process when it comes to the overall class balance of the game.
Mm-hmm. So the tower and pits, they're going down like 5 to 10 tiers. But Torment 4 difficulty, I mean, I like this. That stays roughly the same as it was on the PTR, right?
Roughly the same. Yeah.
Okay, nice. Okay, the next one might be...
go ahead. Monster damage is a little bit lower in Torment 4, I think.
But it scales up higher in higher tiers of tower and pit.
Yep.
Okay. I think that all sounds really good to me. Many players were kind of upset about the removal of the perma teleport. Like, this is like a big discussion point that was on the forums, also in my stream, and I generally totally agree that Sorg in speed farming has been overperforming like crazy compared to all the other classes. Like, it was like night and day difference. However, I would have always loved to see, more buffs to slow classes, like the necromancers, like the druids. For example, maybe we talked about the caps earlier. We are a removal of the movement speed cap of the 200%. So you think there's any chance, or maybe there's some technical limitations to it if you want to talk about it, this kind of approach of like, I don't know, increasing the movement speed cap similar to how we had it in D3, it was completely uncapped, or maybe like making it into 300 or 400%, to not like, take the fun away from the Zorgs, but make the other classes also feel like more fun in that direction.
Yeah, so I'll touch on the Sork teleport one real quick because I'm not sure if we've talked about it recently, but we are looking to reintroduce some of that power back into the Oculus. So if you have the unique for your teleport, we think it's a good compromise. It's like, okay,
it's not free.
If you want to do this crazy teleport thing, then you should have the unique, and you should probably have to cast teleport on your bar. The evade stuff on frame was a little bit crazy. And then we've also looked at some of the other, I'm sorry, Rob, classes like Leap, right? Because we felt like it was just blowing the Sork teleport out of the water, and we've tried to bring those two more within harmony there.
Okay.
I think as far as like the movement speed caps, I think it's a symptom of, when you're to go back to that like idea that so much of the game sort of right now revolves around speed because you hit a point where the only way to become more efficient is to go faster. I think that's what's putting a lot of pressure on having to go extremely like blazing fast. Like we're like, it feels like 2 to 3 times faster than like Diablo 3 even, for example. And we think that that's more of a problem on like the difficulty not scaling appropriately with the rewards, right? Like you can imagine if there were more sort of torment tiers and things like that, it'd be more on like, well, how do I actually kill monsters effectively? But in the current state, you're overkilling monsters by like 10 to 20 times, even sometimes like 50 times. And the only way to become more efficient is to move faster. So to sort of put a period on what I'm saying, like we kind of want to ensure that monsters and difficulty and rewards are scaling so that the only way to be more efficient isn't just to move 50 screens a second, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. I always like speed, and I don't know, like I still like.
Oh, really, everyone loves speed. Yeah,
everybody loves speed, and it just felt so good in D3. Like I could be on my spin to win bar, and I could move around at 500% movement speed, or on my God Demon Hunter Gears of Dreadland 600% movement speed. I just spin around. It felt so smooth, and I'm often missing that, in Diablo 4 right now.
It's super fair.
Yeah. Quick time check. So we have like about 5 more minutes. I have like 2 more questions about class balance, and then some rapid fire questions about like what we might see in the longer future. Does that sound good? Are you guys good with that?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
All right. On the PTR, in terms of like class balance and stuff, there was a lot of hype and a lot of cool things like about the mythic rework from the Melted Heart of Selig. Players loved to see like iconic build returns. Like I personally really love to play the Hoda Whirlwind Barb. Like this Barb we played in the popular season 2. I really had a blast with this. And obviously there's been a lot of discussions about like potentially like capping all of this. We talked a lot about caps and how I don't like them personally. So I'm not a fan of these hard caps, but those builds, especially Hoda Barb, that was clearly overperforming. So what's your approach to these? It was not only on the Barb, right? We also had a Druid that was uncapped, a Necromancer that was uncapped. So how do you plan on like balancing these outliers without, kind of limiting the creativity and uniqueness of these like, high resource, like main stat stacker kind of builds?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is very similar to, on the PTR and in seasons, we want to try insane things, right? And like part of what makes a really insane Diablo sometimes is like staring into the abyss on like, oh God, if we mess up the tuning, the entire game breaks, right? And the players love that, right? Like they're super eager to see us try and break the game, and they're also very eager to break the game. So, that's why we're trying these types of things. The Mythic Unique, why not do something crazy? We did find in the PTR that, it was causing some insane problems, and it also just didn't feel good to see everything that expended all resource have these caps baked in. It felt like it was really removing a lot of the creativity and fun of the game, right? Like even if it was perfectly balanced, it just didn't feel good. So we are going to be changing the amulet to keep the spirit of it, which is we want there to be sort of like this primary resource mana shield type of mythic unique. We think that's like a cool thing to have, but it's going to be much more tame. I think it's like doubling your resource, but then the conversion from damage to resource is much higher. So you're still as tanky as you were on PTR. We're just not creating several thousand primary resource. And we've also removed all the caps that were talking to resource as part of that change.
Thank you.
Yeah, so everything's uncapped again.
Yeah, and then you can like keep scaling it into the end game. I really love the approach there where you like it starts out very slow, like a bit like on the weaker side, like you just equipped it. It's not like you're an instant god instantly, and you have like very nice ways of scaling this with your character all the way into the end game. Love it.
totally. So that was our approach on that.
Cool. Last question for class balance is about snapshotting. This has been like a major topic for a long time already, especially with certain like buff-dependent builds, like the Cataclysm setup, like with this Melted Heart re-emerged on the PTR, and you have to like snapshot the overpower and the passives and do like a very specific skill rotation. I always feel like many players like dislike this entire playstyle where it like fully revolves around the snapshotting LCOD like ZDPS. So in the past, it was like kind of like the stance that this is intended on the Cataclysm dude, if I understood this right. So how do you approach like balancing like these kind of interactions, like, keeping them interesting, but without making this like snapshotting like feel mandatory?
Yeah, that's a great question. Like, as a team, we really don't like the snapshotting of like swapping out gear, then casting something, and we also don't like when the snapshotting revolves around like luck of the draw. Like overpower feels like this, right? It's like if I didn't overpower this run, then the run is fucked, and we don't like that. So we're looking at mechanics that are obviously causing a lot of these snapshotting problems. Like I think concealment, for example, had this on the rogue where you conceal to get guaranteed crit and vulnerable, and then you would obviously snapshot that on your Dance of Knives, and we don't like that kind of thing. So we're moving more towards like duration buffs and things like that because we don't like encouraging this kind of playstyle. As far as like our main culprit, it feels like overpower is like sort of the main source of a lot of these really terrible snapshotting circumstances because it is so luck based. I will say one thing we do like though, and it's sort of like counter to what I just said, is I think if we say your next Cataclysm is going to do all these crazy things, we like that the entire cast of Cataclysm is going to do these crazy things. What we don't like is that when you cast Cataclysm, there's a chance that it's going to overpower that then makes it ridiculous, right? And we don't like that part of it. So we don't like snapshotting. We're looking at some of the more egregious mechanics that cause this really feel bad RNG snapshotting that we don't like. Okay,
cool. All right, there will be like a rapid fire section here for the end. So I'm just like, answer what you can answer, guys, like however you want to answer it. This is this is also about like a more like long-term future. So any chance we see a popular chaos powers return, like maybe as an aspect or similar what you did in the past, such as like the savagery power, for example, on the druid, like that really enabled like the Raven build and made it like pretty crazy.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're always looking to bring back some of the different mechanics in a way that like enriches the build diversity. So it's definitely not off the table.
Okay, cool. And any chances for the like activity Chaos Rifts to come in like some form back? I think there was like a really fan favorite mechanic, like just having the Chaos Rifts pop up, and people love doing them.
Yeah, I mean, again, like it's something that like players really loved, and we're going to look for ways to bring back the things that players loved into the game. We've done this with like Season 2, where we learned about like Blood Harvest and things like that, and we merged it into Helltide. So yeah, it's definitely something that we are looking into and wanting to bring back in some shape or form.
And last in that direction is... Go ahead.
Big success has been kind of taking it offline so that when we do put it into the game, we put it into the game in a way that is responsible and actually adds instead of overshadows everything else, right? So it just lets the team have kind of a cycle. And eventually, if stuff is really cool, we want to keep it too. We just have to make sure that it actually fits in properly to the game. Because we also have, Season 11 is bringing its own things too.
Yeah, I think it's a really big challenge, especially on Chaos Armors right now, right? Because they so much cannibalize like all the defensive and even the utility aspects that we have in the game. Because so many people are calling for, they should just keep the Chaos, armor. But like, it's gonna be like super hard to balance that. And I can totally see like why, first of all, this is not easy and might not even be possible at all, right?
Yeah, I think like we could totally do it. I think our worry is that the game becomes really fast, like quickly stale and boring, right? If everyone is equipping the exact same Chaos Armors and the boots and pants, right?
Yeah.
It's just not going to be a good. Everyone's going to then say, "Oh, the build diversity sucks," and it's
there's
like,
no more defensive slots or anything then in this case, right?
Exactly. Yeah, we've just broken all opportunity costs, which creates a lot of cool choices. On the Chaos Rift, like I think an interesting dev insight here that I think we really like, what we really like about Chaos Rifts, and I think it's something that we want to do more of, is that Chaos Rifts sort of integrated itself across the whole game. And we really like that sort of idea that it's not just this, green helltide where I have to go to this thing. It's something that can sort of show up, and we really want to kind of do more of those types of things where it broadens and enriches all the activities as opposed to like you have to go to this one place. There will be some times when we say you have to go to this one place because, we don't always want to do the exact same patterns over and over. But yeah, I think that was something we really liked about Chaos Rifts.
All right, yeah, that sounds interesting. I hope this is going to come back in some sort of form. Chaos Rift's just really cool overall. Then one quality of life feature that many people ask for, like especially like with gold being a bit of a shortage, and maybe also with the potential sort of cell phone coming into the game. Any chance we can get like a sell all button at the vendor?
Yeah, I think so. I'll answer this in a way I hope feels good. It's more efficient. We'd rather you get all of your gold from picking up and killing things as opposed to like picking all this shit up off the ground than going to sell it. Like, we don't even really like how that's working with salvage right now. Like, salvage was meant to make you feel good about the things you're getting, and it's clear the audience and the players don't really like that paradigm. So our sort of long-term intent is that more of the gold comes from the things that you're doing and less from the items you have to sell. Ideally, what that looks like is that how do I get gold? I just have to play and I have to kill more monsters, and we'll just juice the amount of gold we're giving. Excuse me, sorry, that was terrible. The thing we did do in Season 11 is that overall monsters drop way more gold piles, and that obviously scales with difficulty tiers. So I think like the amount of gold piles that normal monsters drop went up by like 800% or something insane like that.
Whoa, that's a lot.
So killing normal monsters is going to drop way more gold, and then elites, when you kill elites, they're going to drop also potentially up to like 15 gold piles if you get really lucky. So we've injected a lot more gold into the monster killing portion of the game as well.
Yeah, I think I've also seen this like in the pits with Belial influencing it or something. There was also like this big gold prize that you mentioned. It's gonna be pretty cool. Next thing is about trading. Like, would the team ever consider like an auction house or an in-game trading market? I know this has been asked a lot, but is there any like hope or any development on this?
Not currently talking about doing any kind of additional trading systems or anything like that. I mean, quite kind of the opposite right now. We're primarily focusing on what is a version of solo self-found that can be in the game. But honestly, never say never. Like, there's no plans, but that doesn't mean there's never a plan ever in the history of Diablo 4. Who knows? But it's not right now on our radar or something that we're thinking about.
All right, fair. What do you think about the DPS meter or something? At least like maybe in the target dummy area, because sometimes it can be really hard to figure out like what's more damage, this aspect, that aspect. I feel like just a very like baseline DPS meter to understand performance, or maybe even at a world boss or something like that. That's more dedicated, but maybe on the target dummy, any chance for that?
No plans for it right now. I think it's something that we obviously like giving players stats, like Zaven was just talking about in the tower, wanting to give more information to the player. So it's not a never thing. It's just we currently aren't looking at it right now, but that doesn't mean that we're never going to add it. Okay. It's sort of a priority thing on like, where do we want to focus our time? And this is something that we know the players want. So as it becomes more of a priority to players, it's definitely something we can take a look at.
Okay.
I think if you think about a tower as being this like streamlined thing, if we're really successful, it starts acting as sort of the benchmark, right? And the kind of the benchmarking tool. So right now, what other information we might need to provide about your run, we're really focusing on making sure the tower can actually provide that. And so like, oh, I know how well I did and what I did, right?
Okay, yeah. I mean, it kind of does. It would still be cool to have like some way to tell at some point. But okay, I have 3 more of these, and I think then that's going to make a good roundup here. Boss materials. I think you increased like some of the stack size. I think it's still not enough. Like, can we have it like, I don't know, stack up to 999 or something? I still have all these stacks in my inventory so much, just filling it up with the lack of stash space right now.
Yeah, I'll ask a cheeky question. It doesn't mean that we're changing anything. I want you to think about this, and I want to hear, what your chat thinks. A lot of this would be a lot easier if we could just make this a material or currency. That obviously comes with a lot of trade-offs. So that's something we've talked about. Hearing feedback on that would be really helpful. But if it was all currencies, it would make this significantly easier and more manageable.
Yeah, I guess it wouldn't be tradable in this case. That's what you were hinting at.
Exactly. That would be the trade-off.
I think that would be okay. I mean, right now you can't like really like share the boss kills anyways. I felt that. I mean, I'm totally okay with that. That sounds good to me. It also fixes, some of the problems we had in the past with some of the multiplication of these items. So yeah, I'm all for it. Like that sounds good long term. Cool.
Okay.
Similar direction, like stash, but also like clan features. Like, in Path of Exile, you have these like shared stashes within your clan. Even in, I'm going to say it, Diablo Immortal, there was like a ton of cool clan features. Like right now, it just feels so bare bones. Like the community aspect of, I love to play with other players. Like we're playing an online game. Diablo is open world. I mean, obviously a bit contrary to Solo Self-Found. Like I like to see so many options, right? Like everybody just plays however they enjoy playing the game. But right now it feels like there's very minimal support for like any kind of like clan feature or clan stuff. So are there like any plans like in this direction, like for the like midterm future or something?
So one thing that we are supporting on the leaderboard, I know it doesn't like scratch the itch here that you're talking about, but just kind of like indicative of this, as we move on development, what is the stuff that's useful right now that we know we can just kind of take action on? So as an example, in the leaderboard, we are talking about doing like filter options where you can see people based on your relationship to them. So I can see my friends, clan, things like that. Long term, I think we're just kind of listening to what the community actually needs from it. I'm generally of the mind that like, yeah, lots of games have lots of features. Even some Diablo games have those features. But if we're gonna bring it over, I want to make sure that like we do the due diligence to make sure it fits in the game and actually supports the stuff that we are building towards. I think there have been cases where we have taken a feature from a previous Diablo title even and said like, okay, we're gonna put this into the game, and it's like, well, the context is completely different. So it doesn't actually hit the same way as it did. How could it? Everything else around it is different. Clans are not such a, disparate feature, but it's still something that we want to be kind of careful about. Lots of games do like progression and things like that. There's nothing we're actively talking about right now, but as we start developing Tower, and it is a really big social system having a leaderboard again, right? We're open. We kind of want to hear what people want to do with it and what kinds of things they want us to develop. It's going to be very transparent, I've mentioned before. So if anyone has any thoughts or anything they desperately want and think is really important, tell us. We're listening.
Will do.
Yeah, I'll give a really clear example of like it just, the context of D4 is very different. We're always looking to add big quality of life additions to the game. I'll point out Armory. I think Armory was something that, everyone was sort of clamoring for because it's like, well, D3 had this, and we added it to D4. And frankly, like there are some people that use the Armory, but I wouldn't say it's anywhere near the amount of people that used Armory in D3. And that's because itemization and like the crystallization of your build in Paragon, it's just all completely different. So that's why we try and take a sort of measured approach on like, okay, what are the things the community is asking for? How's it going to impact Diablo? Is this the right thing to be focusing on right now? We just added the party finder. Time flies. I guess it was a year ago, and the expansion, and like that was a way to sort of surface and serve more of the social players of the game. So I think it's just important that we think about the context, and we're also driven by a lot of the feedback. So if this is a big thing that is continuously brought up and there's like a huge volume of people that are like, man, I really wish clans were more part of the game. Maybe that becomes part of the tower, right? Like there's a big clan drive for the tower. That's something we're always listening to. And one thing, sorry, it's a long answer. The other thing we are looking to do to support social a little bit more is being more lax with sort of some of the party interactions, right? Like we were just talking about it earlier, but that is something that going forward, we want to be a little bit more open to the idea that you could make a Z DPS build and the only purpose of you is to make your friends and allies cool. Like we think that's a fun missing piece to the overall puzzle of what you can do in D4.
That's awesome. It always like in D3 was always like a nice way to catch up as well. Like if you, I don't know, you're like kind of for whatever reason you have some IRL stuff and you're starting the season a week late, you can just join the party and be like the support player in the beginning until you're strong enough in Diablo 3, to help your group, and something like that in D4. I'm all for it, man. That sounds great. Second to last one, I have personal interest in this as well, because I still have my first barbarian that I made on the launch of Diablo 4, and I did the level 100 and the first Lilith kills and everything. I really don't want to delete that character, right? But we have very limited character slots. Would there be a chance for maybe a rebirth kind of feature, similar to how we have it in D3, to keep these old OG characters kind of alive in a way?
Yeah, I'll be honest, it's something we have talked about. There's no timeline on this or anything like that. There's some additional complexities. Again, we were just saying like, yeah, take a thing that existed and put it in this game. There's always little differences, always little gotchas and stuff like that. So we want to make sure if we make it, it's for the player experience of Diablo 4 first and foremost. But no plans, and it's not even a guarantee that we're going to do it exactly like maybe people think about it, right? So I don't want to say like, yeah, explicitly that feature is going to make it. Like, it's not that. But the problem space you're describing is very real. We all feel it, we all see it, we all know it, right? And as when Vessel launched, right, you had some new slots, you had a new character you were going to make. Eventually, your players who are really playing the game a lot and making new characters all the time, they're going to max out their slots, all of them. And then what happens? And as you recall, we were just describing a potential new feature, right, with the halos, where it belongs to that guy. So there's stuff that we have to work through. And again, there's a very long future and long road ahead for Diablo 4 as a whole. It's not just like this one feature. So we're in constant development. Like, Diablo 4's got a bright future. I've mentioned that before. I'm going to say it again. I'm happy to always say it. So
sounds good.
Stay tuned. More information as we know. Yeah.
Hell yeah. And also,
Totally. I'll even say I feel this, Rob, like we're playing like 3 different versions of Diablo 4 and I have like an internal account where I don't even like deleting internal characters. It's like, oh, but I played this one so much. So, totally.
You get this like attachment to your characters. Like, oh man, this was the character I played on the launch of this and that. And,
exactly.
I don't want it. I feel bad deleting it. There's like so much nostalgia on it. But that's
still have my day one wizard from Diablo 3.
Yes.
I've rebirthed that like I don't even know how many times. It's literally my day one. I'm like never deleting that. I've deleted other things. I don't care.
All right.
That one never going anywhere. Right?
Okay, so you're hearing us loud and clear on this. Nice. Okay, the last question with this like bright future in mind. So there recently was an announcement for Diablo 4 coming to China on the 11th or 12th of December. And parallel, there's this event called the Game Awards. Should Diablo fans be watching that? What do you guys think?
Everyone should be watching
gamer.
it. Well, gamers,
every gamer.
We're gonna watch it. Yeah. Everyone should watch it. And Diablo
wouldn't
gamers
miss the Game Awards.
Okay, we ain't missing it. I mean, that's going to be close to the season launch, so I'm really excited for that. Sounds good. Thank you so much, my friends, for taking the time, joining us here, and being so open about all the things coming for Diablo 4. Really appreciate the transparency and all the insights in those changes to come. Thank you so much, my friends.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you, Rob.
This is fun.
All right, talk soon. GG, take care.
GG.
Hey, guys. GG.
All right, my friends. That's been the developers. How you guys liked it? Let me turn on the chat. Ooh. Man, I was sweating a bit when my internet cut out in the middle, dude. What the fuck was that? Dude, it cut the fuck out, man. But the German internet, man, I'm gonna say Danke Merkel. Oh, dude. Yeah, I was like very chill, but like when it cut out, I was a bit stressed after that. But because I was like always, man, is it gonna happen again? Is it gonna happen again? But it didn't happen again. Guys, I did all I could, and I asked, like, I think I got pretty much all the questions in that. I also wanted to be fair to the time, right? Like, obviously, I didn't want to stretch it to like 2-3 hours, man. Like, it was 1 hour slot, and we already went 15 minutes over. I think that was very nice of them, and I don't know about you, but I really like the answers. Like, obviously, they can't say everything, guys. They can't say everything. But I gotta say, like, this makes me way more excited for Season 11, and also for December, my friends. Oh, whew, man. It was fun. Can you turn on the music a bit? Yeah, sorry, I was just like, I think the volumes are a bit all over the place because I shoot up my PC volume for you guys to understand them properly. Guys, they would have never, like, obviously I could have asked about the new class, but they would have not answered that. They would have said, like, the Necromancer has great shields. You heard it in Rex's interview. They're cooking, man. They're cooking. Yes. Hell yeah. Very good interview, guys. I'm glad you liked it. I mean, you guys helped me a lot, you know, with the preparation. Like, I had my entire list here. I'm gonna like change my. 1 second. Let me close all the Discord stuff. I have my entire like sheet here open, and we pretty much went through. I'm probably gonna like make a summary as well, but that full video is gonna be out on YouTube. It's gonna be fun. Yeah, obviously, guys, they're not gonna make the big announcement in this. Like maybe on the Game Awards, right? Like everybody should be watching. You heard it. And what Brad Gibson said, and that Chinese, the game director at the Chinese announcement. Hell yeah, buddy. That sounded really good. Here, this is the event, my friends. And I think they announced quite some stuff there before. I don't know. I think they announced like one of the classes there, like 2 years ago or something. They're not gonna cap the VAP, guys. They said the melted heart's not gonna get capped. It's gonna get a bit reworked and retuned, but they're not gonna cap it, which I love, man. So this is the show here. And yeah, if we watch the trailer again, I mean, there's a lot of stuff there. So I went through all those documents. So thanks for helping me with all this, guys. Oh, we're gonna make a summary about this on YouTube as well. But I post a full interview on YouTube later for those of you who missed it. I know like a lot of. I also had this like little hiccup that I'm gonna edit out with my internet. Wow, there was some. What were you guys most excited about in terms of the answers that they gave? I mean, I really like the stuff that they are changing here for itemization and stuff. Like, man, like the Indestructible on Sanctification is gonna get deleted, man. It's gone. Uncapped Ceiling, guys. Yeah, Ceiling is uncapped, but it's gonna be rebalanced. We don't know the numbers like fully. But Colin gave us numbers on the bosses, like the boss and how the HP is going to change, not the XP. Like the boss HP is going to come down by 60%, like not for all of them, but on average, right? Like the usual boss fight should be about less than half the time. If it was taking you 4 minutes to kill the boss, it's under 2 now. We're also going to gain 10 tiers in terms of pit power, guys. So the power creep, I think we're still going to be mildly weaker than Season 10 right now, but it's not going to be like as big a margin, right? Like plus 10, 5 to 10 pit tiers for all builds. Hey, Lord Sora, very GG interview. Thank you, Rob. Hey, glad you guys liked it. I mean, I took a lot of like prep work, right? Like there was like a lot of... I was like very cautious of like how I phrased the questions. Obviously, like not throughout everything, but... I was actually pretty happy with the answers that, very happy actually, with the answers that I've gotten. Obviously, they couldn't like answer everything exactly, but I would say like 90% of the questions, we got a very, very informative answer too. Like I didn't really feel like they dodged or like, you know, talked like a politician a lot. Like I think it was good. Where can we watch it again? Okay, it's on YouTube right now, guys. Wait, let me link this to you. You can also watch this on Twitch, but we are streaming live on YouTube, right? So here's the YouTube stream. And Twitch, unfortunately, doesn't have this feature unless you pay money for it, I believe. But on YouTube, you know, you can very easily rewind. I'm not sure where the interview started, but probably somewhere around here. I'm just going to link you this. Copy video URL, and guys, leave a like on the comment on the video. It like helps a lot here. This is the live. I mean, we're still live on YouTube, right? But yeah, you can also watch it on Twitch, but Twitch doesn't really have this like easy rewind feature, right? On YouTube here, there's 800 people right now on YouTube as well, and you can like very easily like watch this already here. That was fun, man. Oh, sorry, Dread. I don't know what this is about. The second trading craft. Yeah, they didn't really say anything about the trading. No plans there right now. They're going like a bit the opposite, which is also good. Like they're going into the like more lone solo self-found kind of wolf kind of play style, but that's gonna be fine as well. Joe Shelley, yeah, trading and crafting. Well, but, I mean, this is what Colin asked about the boss mods, right? Crafting, consume, okay, it's not necessary. But would you guys, I mean, I'm totally good with the boss mods not being tradable myself. Thanks, Rob. Watch what I could be driving to work, so I'm going back and watching from the beginning now. Hey, thank you so much for the kind words and the $10, my friend. Adrian, thank you. Yeah, I think the boss mods being kind of in the material section is just a W. Yeah, making it in a compound. Toasty also liking the idea. Matt says current. I mean, it's not currency. No. Like, I mean, it is a currency, but not a currency you can trade. Sorry, you can't trade it. I need to stop my virtual camera here. Boss mods as material is just being lazy. Nah, I feel good about that, actually. Let me ask my editor real quick. I need to see there. We need to make one cut somewhere. I think it was like 134 where IDC. I need to make a cut in the video. We'll find this. 134, I think it was. Cool. It's a major W. Fighting the duplications even more. Yeah, I think it's going to be very nice. Gold is a currency that can be traded. Yeah, and they said they are significantly buffing the way to obtain gold. One second. Sounds good. Thanks a lot, guys, for the very positivity here. Boss mods could be a tradable currency. Interview recording. Does this link work for you? I think it does, right? Here's the interview recording, guys. I'm gonna pin it real quick. If you wanna like rewatch it already live, I'm gonna cut it and we're gonna have it. I mean, there's only one cut where I see it, right? So we're gonna cut it and re-upload it to YouTube in an hour from now or something. It's uploading. Hey, thank you, Dreadsife. Yeah, cool, man. I mean, I had a ton of fun. Like, I obviously like I could have talked more, but I also wanted to like respect their time and wanted to like like I think it was a good like spot to end as well, right? Like obviously if it's 1 hour time slot, like I already feel bad going like 10-15 minutes over. I don't want to like go over like more. And there's also, guys, still another interview coming out by this guy here.
Diablo 4 season 11.
TV Dukyu, which is a Korean blaster. This is probably also going to come out soon. Yeah, I'll probably rewatch some parts now, guys, if you want to. Because I was like, I was like very like listening to the answer and always like trying to ask a follow-up. I don't remember everything they said, right? So I will definitely like re-listen to some of this. I think the duplication problem, I mean, I can't speak about if it's fully gone, right? But it is significant, and I repeat, significant less. Like, I did not really see like much duplication going on, right? Where before people were like shitting the mutts out everywhere. That's what age does to you. Oh, I mentioned, was it Zaven? Yeah, sorry guys, like oh, yeah. I mean, come on, guys. I'm from Germany. Sometimes, yeah, the pronunciation. So, is it Zaven? Zaven. Sorry, man. Like it was not intended, man. Yeah. Okay. I said Zaven, right? Yeah, Zaven. Okay. Zaven. Okay. Yeah, I got it now. Sorry, Zaven, if you're still listening. Okay. It's gonna put a smile on your face for a second. Okay, it's fine. Okay. Good. Okay, so I think one of the biggest things here is Indestructible. So this, I'm gonna try to do a summary. Indestructible is gonna be removed, right? I just want to like see if I mean we can like re-listen to what they said, but guys, Indestructible is gone, so it's way easier now. I mean, it's not easy, but it's better and easier. No, he said season 11. It's for season 11. Boom, shakalaka, Spiritborn. Yes. It's coming. What they say here, boss HP reduced by around 60%, I believe, right? That was quite significant. I think it was everywhere. That was pretty cool. One other big takeaway was definitely on... Okay, attack power. I don't know when, actually. Did he say when? Attack power removed. Now weapon damage. Yes? Okay, here... Eyes will be auto activate. Okay, and here they said Obolts not dropping. Honestly, if I'm not that old, guys, yet. Hello? I will remember most of this. Obolts not dropping was a bug, will be fixed. XP should remain same. I believe he said that. I'm gonna rewatch this part because I'm not 100% sure. I think they were looking into why the XP was changed, but it wasn't intentional or something like that. Yeah, okay. Okay, the video's coming up, guys. Yeah, good stuff. I'm still chatting with some of them. That's so nice. The music on slow motion? No, it's just some like Diablo lo-fi, some lo-fi music. We can go for a different playlist if you guys want. I'm just gonna go through most of the learnings, guys. I'm gonna make a quick summary as well. Because not everybody has time to watch, you know. I mean, it was 1 hour, 10 minutes. I guess it's okay. A start date? I mean, officially, guys, if you go in the game, it's December 9th. Okay, so about the pit balance. So Obol's not dropping was a bug, will be fixed. The ice will auto-activate. This is more like they're looking into this long term, right? I mean, I'll rewatch and we'll like write down the exact answer. I didn't even ask this. Not a big deal. Some maps will be more open on Season 11 launch. I mean, this is like, especially in Tower. Right? Actually gonna be... what do people on the forums say, guys? I mean, I don't know if I want to go to the forums, man. People are gonna be like mad about stuff. Rob interviewing the developers. Forums, is this fair? Ah, come on. Oh yeah, like on the forums, guys, everybody's a Blizzard fanboy. We're all chills, and I mean, yeah. It's like... Yeah, I don't even know if I should even... I'm falling asleep as I see this, guys. 90%, Rob was talking about the tower. I was not. What? I mean, we talked a lot about the tower, but the tower is the new endgame system, man. That stuff's important. Yeah, look, people, who would be surprised about people on the forums being negative? Like, I keep you saying this, man. They could literally announce that they found a cure for cancer. Some people on the forum gonna be mad about it. They're gonna find some reason to be mad about it, right? Like, it's just always like this, man. We found a cure for cancer, but what about all the poor doctors losing their jobs? You know, like that's how the internet works, man. It's crazy. Yeah, I'm using the numlock tricks, guys. Ban them all. Yeah, I don't know, dude. Like. I mean, I had fun in the interview, and I think like a lot of you guys had fun as well. Like, I think we learned a lot of stuff, actually. Ban that guy. Don't listen to the haters. I mean, some of them, like, I mean, sometimes there's definitely valid feedback. Like, no one's perfect, guys. Hello? The numlock hacker man. Yeah, guys, look at my settings. Okay, so what did they talk about the tower? Yeah, they didn't really say, like, this they couldn't do. Like, not easily, at least. Like, maybe long term, right? So here they talked about... If memory serves me right. They talked about a big milestone. I think this is really cool, though. Milestone rewards coming, right? I'm gonna lower the music again. It's too loud. Like, they're gonna have big milestone rewards for, like, Tower 1, 5. This is just an example, right? Like, I don't know if they're gonna do it exactly like this. Plus rewards. Plus rewards for ranking. Did they say brackets in certain... I don't know if they said brackets. But like, I imagine it like brackets, right? Like, I don't know, the top 10 is going to get a reward. Plus exclusive. Title. This is like pretty cool, man. Title / cosmetics. Cosmetics for top ranks. I think it's really cool. Like, this reward structure. It's not going to... This all is not... It's very important. It's not in Season 11. Right? So they have... the way I understand it, guys. Milestone rewards. Like, I don't know, like, if you do... Like, it's for your personal best, right? That's very cool, man. mean, it's like a 3 reward structure, right? So these are the things that are coming. At least if I understood this right. The fuck is going on? Ah! You gotta be shitting me. Whatever. I'm fighting with dogs. I mean, I'm okay with if you have some cool cosmetic, like the title, okay, whatever. But the cosmetic's pretty cool. And this is like a kind of like 3 structure reward system, which is like personal record, like everybody gets those. Personal record, like only measuring about, like versus yourself, basically. Then like certain brackets, like I don't know, if you rank in the top 1,000, you get something, the way I understood it. And exclusive title and cosmetics for like the top ranks. People that don't get cosmetics will be mad. Well, then they should try to get like, I don't know, top 10 or whatever it's gonna be, right? It's only once a season. Which one? Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's once a season. They didn't really talk about a monthly reset or something. But yeah, I would assume it's once a season. I don't think that was brought up. Did they say weekly? Okay, we can re-listen. Wait. I think it should be the pinned comment. I'm uploading this to YouTube already, guys, but it's gonna be a bit.
Back a little bit, and I think part of that is
we kind of need timestamps as well, because I don't know exactly like where this was in the interview.
As an example, is that we've added cooldown reduction to gloves.
This is items, so it was later. Oh, that's actually pretty big. Wait, I gotta write this down. This was on itemization. So they said cooldown reduction. We're gonna go back to this, guys. Cooldown reduction ethics coming for rings, gloves, right? That was pretty sick. And they're looking at the amulet stuff. PTR reveal stream? No, that already happened. Like they're probably gonna have. I don't know, but like they're probably gonna have another stream. Like a week before the season starts, like I don't know, beginning of December or something, about the final learnings from the PTR, because like they teased a bit in Rex's interview, like they talk a bit in the other interview with DoomQ, and they're gonna talk a bit in my interview, but they're gonna for sure have a summary like closer to the season, which is in a month from now or something, right? So I'm assuming, like I don't know this, but I'm assuming that there will be another like full developer stream without an interviewer, like it's gonna be like just them telling us what they're gonna like finally change, right? And then I think we haven't really seen like all storylines. Like we've seen like some parts of the storylines of the new season and stuff, but we haven't seen it all. Right? So I think there was a lot more there potentially. Yeah, the internet sometimes. Lief doch sehr gut. Did you guys enjoy it? I mean, that's very nice to hear. I mean, I had fun, guys. Like, even if, let's say, like, a lot of people are negative about it, like, I'm just, like, I enjoyed it. I think the answers were, like, very good. Like, I got, a lot of stuff from what I and many of you were interested in. Like, I understand that Season 11, if you already hate Diablo, Season 11, no matter what they do right now in Season 11, is not going to make you unhate the game, right? Like, that's just how it is. I think they were very, like, honest. Obviously, like, in the confined, like, what they can share, right? Like, they can't, like share when the next expansion drops or something, or what exactly the new class is and stuff. They can't say this. So I think they were like very like honest about what they could say and what they said. Thanks, guys. What do you think about the Game Awards? Well, like we should all watch it, I think. I mean, we'll be watching it live here on stream, guys, beginning of December. But again, like if you already like don't like the game, I don't think this season is gonna make you like the game. Like it's not like that kind. That's maybe more reserved for like a big expansion or something like that, right? Like if you want to give it like a, I don't know, like there's just like a lot of negativity. I just don't like to be like negative Nancy about this stuff. Like I just like playing the game. Like obviously there's flaws with everything. Nothing's perfect, and I do give a lot of feedback on what to improve all the time, and yeah, I'm seeing like a lot of stuff getting changed for the better, so I like that. People know if they like D4 or not. I mean, the game is, there's definitely a lot to improve. Don't get me wrong, guys. And a lot of the stuff we talked about today, right? But they are doing a lot of improvements here. Yeah. I just hope they will make it easier to understand Toughness. Oh, yeah. I should have probably... They didn't really say... I mean, my suggestion was for Toughness to... I'm going to show this to you visually in-game. Because Toughness to me is... It doesn't really mean anything. Like, once you have a lot of experience with the game, you will know. But for a new player, like, what does it mean? You have 1 million Toughness. Or 100,000 Toughness. Like, it doesn't... Like the game doesn't tell you how much you would want or how much is recommended for each content, right? So what I was trying to get at in the interview, and I don't know exactly if it came across like that, is like they could just add something, maybe on the world tier statue, where you have like a recommended, like I don't know, world tier 1. The game recommends like around this toughness, and then if you have this toughness, like you're obviously not going to be immortal. Here, right? Like it could just say here, Torment 1, recommended toughness or whatever, right? 100,000. Torment 2, you need 200,000. Torment 3, you need 500,000, and Torment 4, you need 1 million. It's just some numbers, right? But then you at least have an idea, like if you're gonna get one shot or not, because like with the way it was on PTR, like you have no reference to this toughness value that you have, right? You just don't know what it means. Thanks again, Rob, for this. Hey, thanks for listening, Zach. Glad you liked it. Ooh, Mekuna, did you hear the perma-teleport stuff? You will still be able to perma-teleport, but you need the Oculus. And let's write it down, too. Yeah. Perma-TP will be possible again, but with the Oculus. And not as easy with just evade. Something like this, I understood. I don't even know. Oculus. This is spelled like this. Did they say not for season? I think they... yeah, I mean, some of the stuff, like, I need to rewatch the interview. I think it's going to be for season 11, but don't quote me on that. We'll rewatch it. What date is season 11? Well, as far as we know, December 9th. I don't see any evidence that suggests otherwise. Like the game, like officially in the game, it's December 9th. And that's a Tuesday. Unless I hear anything else or any other source, that's the date. It's always the date. It was true like 7 out of 8 times, and the one time they had to delay it, but they announced that they delayed it. Unless they are announcing a delay, it's on December 9th. Well, what's the Oculus doing right now? I mean, I'm not 100% sure what it does. Let me see. I mean, you're the sword guy. Like, I don't know, what does Oculus even do right now? Like, I never really like used it much, I guess. Does it not exist? Wait, is that an aspect? Teleport. Is it unique? What slot is it? . 1, okay. . There we go. Casting teleport grants a stack of galvanization, increases its damage. So they're probably gonna like ultra juice this with like, I don't know. I mean, the way Oculus worked in D3, it just no cooldown. So I would assume that they will rework this in some way. I mean, we'll have to see exactly. Like this was not 100% clear. But yeah, you will have to give up an offensive slot for it if you want perma teleport. But in speedruns, you're gonna do that. It doesn't matter. Like giving up your weapon slot in Torment 4 to be able to perma teleport, I think that's completely fair, no? Hey, Woody, Dankeschön, mein Freund. Thank you very much. Oh man, the German internet crashed on us. Thanks for the raid, guys. Welcome in, everybody. Oh man, like in the fucking interview, I had a DC, dude. Ah. The German internet striked again, dude. What the fuck? Yeah, we're just talking about the perma teleport stuff right now. Potential, like, it's probably still potential with the Oculus. And be honest, Woody, how did you like the interview? I feel like there was like quite a lot of interesting information. I mean, obviously they're not gonna do the big reveals in the interview, right? But I had a good time, like talking to them, having a chat. Copium with perma teleport. I hope so. Good interview. Hey, thanks, man. That's cool. High five. Hey, let's go. The punch, man. The bro fist. Yeah, we're like trying to do like a bit of a summary here. I'm probably gonna rewatch some of the parts. But I think like some of the big takeaways, like I really like the reward structure. First of all, the reward structure that they put to the tower. Like you have this like your personal milestones. Like, I don't know, you clear like every 10 tiers and you get something big, right? You have rewards in like a certain brackets. Like, I don't know, you do top 10, top 100, top 1000, you get a reward. It's just examples, guys. And then also like for the very, very top ranks, you can earn exclusive, I mean, the titles is whatever, but cosmetics. Like, I mean, maybe you're gonna have like the Giga Wings or something like that, right? Like that you can't swipe for. You can't like pay for these wings. They're not in the shop. You only get them when you are like the top 10 or something on the leaderboard. The hardcore solo cell phone leaderboard or whatever. Well, China gonna have a different server, guys. They just announced this. China gonna have their own server on top of all this. Yeah, I was also really happy to know a bit more about Sanctification. And the big one here was that Indestructible is gonna be gone, guys. I didn't like put all the answers yet, but Indestructible is gone. So it's gonna make Sanctification feel way more rewarding. And also, okay, in terms of class balance, guys, they said buffed all classes, or I should say they nerfed the pit, right? Nerfed pit / tower. Maybe it was only the pit, but I need to rewatch. By 5 to 10 tiers to make 100 glyphs more accessible. I think something around these lines. Like I will rewatch and we'll double confirm, but this is just what I remember. How I perceived it. Oh, I did turn off the notifications. Sorry, guys. Yeah. Thank you, man. Nice interview, Rob. Hey, much appreciated, Jogger.
Nice interview, Rob.
Yeah, I turned it all off, guys. And we're going to be like very excited for the Game Awards, man. 1 month to go. Stretch a bit. Yeah, I also, like, some people redeemed, like, talk German in the middle of the interview all the time, man. Dankeschön. Oh, did I type raid? Oh. Yeah, rookie mistake, man. Did I type raid? Okay, raid? Oh, no, I check. Guys. Hey, thank you, Woody, man. Much appreciated, dude. Maybe I did. But I didn't press the button. Let's raid Woody back. Oh, we'll raid you back, though, but not now when he's offline, guys, okay? Ping pong raiders, let's go. All right. Perma TP will still be possible. Melted Heart of Selig. So, new Melted Heart will, you say, double resource. I really love, man, how Colin, like, he agreed with me, caps are bad. Like, he gonna remove all the caps, dude. Yes. I mean, the caps for Melted Heart, right? The caps for Melted Heart is gone, dude. Dude, that's so good, man. I love it. New Melted Heart will double resource, and all caps for it will be removed. Yes. Oh, that was so good, man. They're not gonna cap the barb, no. There's no cap. But the Melted Heart doubles your resources. That's it. Like, it doesn't scale your main stat like crazy. You're not gonna have 50,000 resource anymore. Well, I mean, we'll have to see. Like, probably they will, like, I mean, we're missing a few details, like how the new scaling is and stuff, right? I didn't want to go into the nitty-gritty, guys, in this interview. Like, they're gonna announce it when they're gonna announce it in probably the reveal stream for season 11, like early December, I would guess. No, the cap. So the cap for all Melted Heart caps is gone. Like, all the resource caps. I mean, I would assume, Mikuna, that includes Serpentine, Adaptability. Like, the way I understood Colin, like, all those caps are gone. They're just gone. And Melted Heart is going to double your resource and going to do, like, you know, give you the mana shield, but different scaling. We don't know the scaling. And we don't really know how powerful it's going to be. But you're probably going to have, I don't know, normally you can get 400 resources, and now with Melted Heart, you can get 800 resources. And there's no cap, but it sort of like caps out automatically anyways, because there's only so much resource you can get. I love this, man. Balance, this was a big W for me. A balance around the caps, dude. Yeah, I don't need any caps. Did we, like, actually raid Woody, or what happened? Maybe we did. Stop complaining. Did we rate him? Like, fuck? Yeah, today's crazy, dude. Like, it's fine, it's fine. I need to go soon anyways, but fuck. We rated Woody while he was off. Okay. Wait, I thought it would stop the auto magic raid. What the fuck was that, dude? Wait. I mean, I probably, like, I'll sleep over this and rewatch the interview tomorrow, and we'll do, like, a full thing, like, yeah, professional streamer, guys. That's how I go. But I really love this. Like, the cap's gone, man. That's cool. Fuck cause F the caps, man. No more caps. Okay. Yeah, snapshotting is gonna get looked at. Document link. Well, I mean, I can make a shareable link, I guess. Not this one, though. I'm gonna make a summary as well, guys. Like I'm gonna make it, like, this is not final. Like, I need to reconfirm what they said exactly, because I only typing this down from memory, but we'll actually have to rewatch it and stuff, right? New Torment list. They only mentioned that they might look into opening this up to, I think they said 8 tiers in Rax's interview. You have to check his interview for that. Over 1,000. Yeah, maybe you can get 1,000. Nah, you're never gonna have less than 500. I mean, even right now. Okay, this is a build that doesn't really stack resources, but I mean, even right now I have 250, and I'm not even stacking it really that much. I mean, I'm stacking it a little bit, I guess. Either way, like on some classes, like Barb right now can have 400 resources. That's without Melted Heart. You add Melted Heart, it's gonna be like somewhere in the 800 percentile. I mean, I think most of the interview was about endgame content. Like, this all was endgame content, right? Sanctification was endgame content. Toughness was endgame content. Pits endgame content. Tower endgame content. That's all. Like, class balance is all. Like, I think 80% of the interview was about endgame content anyway. Yeah, I mean, I'd also like to see AOZ, but I mean, that's basically going to be the tower, right? The soul stone is gonna fall from the shelf? Ah, nah, it's fine. Tower is pits. Your rank rewards will be character bound. Ranked rewards I don't know, they didn't talk about that. No, not here. Yeah, guys, I'm probably gonna go get some dinner and stuff. Maybe I'll do, okay, not tomorrow, but on Saturday or something, I'll do a stream summary. We can rewatch the thing and do a lot of the stuff. But I have some IRL, like I have a lot of IRL stuff tomorrow actually. And in general, guys, next days, weeks, I have a big project here at my family business going on, so it's gonna be like quite a bit less streams in general. But we're definitely gonna be like online like once or twice a week. That's what I'm planning at least. Need to re-listen. Yeah, I'm uploading it to YouTube right now. I mean, I can like chill for a sec as well, see if this goes live. Does this have the timestamp already? Let me see. In general,
the tower bosses have had their health kind of brought in line with what you might normally expect from.
Yeah, I'm not sure like if this, like we're gonna put it out on YouTube, guys, in a bit. It's gonna be out there, okay? Why no hoodies? What? There's the hoodie right there. What do you mean? But it's too warm in here for a hoodie, dude. It's too warm. We might do some hoodies. Yeah, big IRL stuff, no Pinnacle stuff. Maybe even tomorrow evening I can make it and we'll rewatch and make a summary and maybe also the interview from wait, what? Page isn't available?
Diablo 4 Season 11.
Maybe this guy is also gonna post his stuff. He said something that he's gonna post it soon, TM. Okay, guys. I'm gonna check on the video. We're gonna upload it to YouTube in a bit. I'm gonna make a Discord announcement. Should be up in like half an hour, 1 hour or so, right? And then you can watch the interview. I'm gonna go eat some food and then we'll send out the interview. It's gonna be on my YouTube channel in a bit, so you can watch the full thing. And yeah, hopefully, maybe I'll make it tomorrow or else the day after when the last interview with DuQ is online as well. And then we're kind of like, I'm planning to make like a full summary with like all the interviews and like all the stuff that they've been talking about and chatting about. So that was fun, my friend. Thank you so much for watching and thanks for the positive words about the stuff. Let me know, like, if you, like, I'm probably going to say this in the video, like, if you have some stuff that you want to see improved, like, if we ever do, you know, another interview again, like, at some point, maybe, hope that's going to be fine. Hope that's going to be fun. And if you have some feedback, like, always let me know in the comment section. I'm going to link in the YouTube here. It's going to be, for those of you watching live, like, we'll be posting this here in an hour or so, like, when I'm back and it's uploading. It's like an hour-long video, so it takes a little bit, right? All right, my friends. Yeah, thank you so much. Hopefully I'm back like this weekend, and the video is coming up with the full dev talk. And yeah, keep cool, guys. And there is gonna be a ton of cool stuff, I think, in December. That sounds pretty cool with the Chinese server, the Game Awards stuff. I'm fully expecting like that they're gonna like, you know, like finally put an announcement to the expansion, man. That'd be sick. Like we'll see, man. We'll see. But I think. There's a strong chance that this is going to happen on the Game Awards. It's a pretty big stage, and the timing with the Chinese server is just right, guys. So, gonna be fun, Video is going to come out, guys. Have a good one. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and I'll see you soon. Take it easy, my friends. GG, peace. Oh, man, how many screens I have? There, end screen. Gee, I have too many. Who we want to raid? Macro? Let's raid Macro.
We just got done watching Rob's interview, and in fact, Rob's interview was just as good as Rax's, if not.
Hell yeah. I'm just hearing Mac talk about me when I go on his stream. So we're gonna raid Booty and Macro, guys. Let's go. Had some internet problems.
Something's clearly.
GG.
But Zaven sure said everybody should be watching the Game Rewards. But one of the questions that's been coming up a lot is the implementation of more torment tiers. What can that mean? What do torment tiers represent? What's the value of that? Is it good? Is it bad? Whatever. So I wanted to kind of just do an off-the-cuff little TED Talk here. Because I took umbrage with one of the things that Zaven said. Now, Zaven, you know me, boo. We're bros. Zaven and I got along really well when I got to meet him at the Blizzard campus when they flew us out. So understand this, Zaven, if you end up watching this. This is no hate, but I really want to drill down on something because, at least in the short amount of information that you gave, you talked about a thing that was very, very good and very enlightening, and it very much misses the mark. So, yo, what up, Rob? Welcome in, everybody, from Rob's stream. I'm currently recording a thing about torment tiers and what they could represent for the game. So welcome on in. Thank you very much for the raid, man. Let's go. That was hey, man, that was a very, very good interview. Very good interview. Got a lot of stuff from it. Great questions, good energy. People really felt the